Guys, I'll be right back.
Nothing beats the sun, not even Barry Sanders. Power Home Solar, it's time to own your power.
Update your spaces with help from Menards. Get organized with a designer's image wooden closet system. Uses a freestanding system or mount to the wall. This is great for hanging clothes and storing accessories. Designer's image wooden closet systems are 11% off. Refresh your floor with our huge selection of waterproof and durable vinyl plank and tile. It's easy to install and great for high traffic areas. Get 11% off all vinyl plank flooring at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
At Fifth Third Bank, we know there are a lot of online banks out there making big promises. But what happens if you need a little help? With Fifth Third Momentum Banking, we're there for you. Like getting you your paycheck up to 2 days early and giving you extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Plus, you'll have access to over 10,000 real people when you need them. Introducing Fifth Third Momentum Banking. Just another way we're making banking a Fifth Third better.
Wake up with CBS 4 this morning. Weekdays beginning at 5.
Folks, dreams do come true in London. Jacksonville snaps a 20-game losing streak with a walk-off 53-yard field goal. That from Matthew Wright. The Jags take down Miami by the score of 23-20. Unbelievable. Coming up next, it's doubleheader action here on the NFL on CBS, beginning with early afternoon matchups featuring the Chiefs trying to right their ship, that after a tough loss, taking on the Washington football team, and then a showdown for the ages between the Chargers and the Ravens. And hello, everyone, and welcome back to the NFL Today. Hey, did that wake us up or what? After that early in time, all right, presented by the all-new 2022 Grand Wagoneer. I'm James Brown, back with Phil, Coach Nate, and Boomer. Coach,
wow. When he field goal we saw, but a brilliant call by Brian Schottenheimer on 4th down and 8 with 5 seconds to go. You think about going to the sideline? No. The quickest thing right there, a quick slant, used up less time. They get the first down, which sets up the game winner right here by Matthew Wright. Again, 5 seconds to go, 4th down and 8. An inside route called 9 yards. We always think about protecting the sideline, but that was a great call by Brian Schottenheimer.
Yeah, it really was. Too, I thought Trevor Lawrence, like we talked about a little in the pregame, he just continues to show what he's going to be as a franchise quarterback. They took advantage of the fact that Miami couldn't pressure him the way they wanted because their corners were not playing for Miami. So it kind of simplified things for him, or simplified, I should say, and they took advantage of that situation.
For me, I think Tua played well enough to say, okay, he's got some moxie, he's got a winning pedigree, there's no question about it. And 4th and 1 for Miami, where they don't make it. Right. Credit to the Jacksonville defense to get the ball back with great field position. But that was the right thing for Brian Flores to do. They're trying to win the football game. Right. And he finally had a 4th and 1. They just couldn't make it. And then, of course, what a great call by Brian Schottenheimer. I don't think any of us thought that this is what they were going to do. They did it. And the interesting thing is, Miami touches him down, they call timeout, and there's 1 second left on the clock.
Right. Regardless of what the Jacksonville Jags have been through so far this season, there isn't any confidence wavering from this squad. And Trevor Lawrence, he was dialing it up. And I love the fact that he got the playmakers involved. We talked about it before the game. You want to see Laviska Shenault get going, and also Marvin Jones Jr., and he actually did in this one. I just love the fact that this was a big win because the team needed it, not just for the city, not just for the squad, but what was going on within that organization.
And they have been so close. They were kind of talked about, they have not been able to finish drives or finish games. And for the first time now, they make a couple of field goals over 50 yards, ironically, to get them their first win of the season.
Well, we heard John Madden say iconically, winning is a great deodorant. We'll find out if this does this for the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that had not made 1 field goal this season coming into this game. All right, folks, we kick off just a few moments away. We've got more action coming your way. Some big matchups here on CBS. You'll want to stay tuned. And Nate, as you normally say,
we will get you out to your game next. Hey, what's up? This is Nate Burleson at our new home at Times Square. I'm looking forward to seeing you bright and early on CBS Mornings.
And new NCIS, Monday, 9/8 Central on CBS.
With live betting on FanDuel Sportsbook, you can play here as fast as they play here all game long. Get goosebumps over bootlegs, adrenaline rushes over rushes, turn garbage time into greatness. To make every moment of every game a big one. With live betting on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, make every moment more even after kickoff. New customers get risk-free bet up to $1,000. FanDuel, make every moment more.
Fall into savings and get 11% off everything right now at Menards. Spruce up your home with appliances from top brands including Whirlpool, Amana, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Criterion. Check out the largest in-stock selection to take home today at the lowest prices. Upgrade to new energy-efficient appliances and save 11% on all of them. Save big money and get 11% off everything right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Right now at Power Home Solar, qualified homeowners can get the benefits of solar energy starting at less than $200 a month. By going solar, you're actually offsetting and reducing what you're currently paying your energy company. And you get our exclusive Power Home Value Pack, which includes American-made solar panels, a Generac backup battery, and Smart Power 360. Call 1-800-POWER-90 today and get the first 12 months on us. Power Home Solar, it's time to own your power.
Texans, Colts, today on CBS 4.
We welcome you inside Lucas Oil Stadium on a beautiful 60-degree day here in downtown Indianapolis as we welcome you to the NFL on CBS. Today it is a battle in the AFC South between two old friends, the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. And look who's back for Indy. One of the all-time Colts, T.Y. Hilton, 2 months removed from the surgery on his neck, finally set to make his highly anticipated season debut. The kick is next. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
This is Antonelli's Cheese Shop.
And we're the Antonellis.
Do good, eat good.
That's our mission.
We chose our new Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One because it gives us unlimited 2% cash back on everything we buy.
And it has no preset spending limit, so our purchasing power adapts to our business needs. We use our 2% cash back to help cover our employees'
Thank you for watching
That's how we
the
take care of our
NFL
most
on
valuable
CBS.
Our people. It may sound cheesy,
but we like it that way. What's in your wallet?
Yeah, what's in your wallet?
Introducing High-Low, FanDuel's new free game. Just pick the team.
What's in your wallet?
Lowest in 4 categories for a chance to win $1 million. Here to make the weekly picks are Phil and Boomer.
Alrighty, Phil, I think I'm going to take rushing yards today for the high. I love the Ravens because I think they're going to run a lot against leagues, one of the league's worst rush defenses in the Chargers. For the low, I'm going to take the Raiders because they average the second fewest yards per carry in the NFL, and they're going against a tough Denver defense.
Well, good picks, Boomer. I'm going to focus on passing yards for the high. Give me the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes has already thrown 16 touchdowns this season, the second most in the NFL. And for low, I'm going with Seattle because Geno Smith could have trouble against that Steelers pass rush.
It's not too late. Make your picks for a shot at our $1 million grand prize. You still got about 15 minutes to enter. Just go to FanDuel.com/high-low.
All right, here we go, boys.
CBS Sports.
Here we go. This is what it all comes down to.
Of the National Football League.
This is what it all comes down to right here, folks. Right here, the Colts and the Texans. Right here, both 1-4 coming into this game.
Beautiful 61 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, so the roof is open, the large window is open. And it's a beautiful day for football here in downtown Indianapolis. This week 6 battle here, your coaching matchup. David Culley, hired at the age of 65 after 27 years as an NFL assistant. Frank Reich. Rough start for the Colts, lost their first 3, then finally broke through against the Dolphins in week 4, and then the very disheartening finish last week on Monday night in Baltimore. They blew that 16-point lead in the 4th, so a short week for the Colts. How do they fare against this Houston team that has struggled, to say the least? Andre Roberts, we know how dangerous he can be as a return man. He's running the
Kenny
ball
Moore's
around
back.
the 25-yard line.
Kenny Moore was injured last week. Xavier Rhodes is back. He was questionable with a concussion. T.Y. Hilton is back.
After Taylor went down with the hamstring, and Mills, despite the loss to the Patriots, really bounced back, Jay, last week.
Yeah, Spear, he had his best game by far.
Mills. Davis Mills for the Texans. All right, here we go, Mills. Ball is.
Be a lot different this week against his zone defense.
False start on the offense.
Like the way you want to start.
Offense number 85. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
This is ridiculous.
On referee today is Jerome Boger. And he is busy right off the bat. It's Pharaoh Brown, the man penalized for
first down and 15. Mills.
I want to disguise, give him post-snaps looks, and pressure Davis Mills mentally and physically all game.
Ball is snapped, hands off, and
1-yard line. This is Mark Ingram on his first
Mark
take.
Ingram gets about 2 yards.
Maybe 3 yards. Starters for the Texans. Big story for Houston today. Their Pro Bowl left tackle
Good old
Larry
Mark
Tunsil
Ingram,
shut down.
the
He
ageless
underwent
wonder.
left thumb surgery on Thursday, so they placed him on IR. Expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. And the other big story, no Justin Britt. Their usual starter at center is
All right, here we go, Mills.
Britt dealing with
Gonna go empty set here on second and 12.
But today makes his first
Oh no, that's Ingram to his right. Ball is snapped. Mills throws incomplete. Oh, David Johnson was the intended receiver. Third down 12.
But they were so good last week for about 3 quarters, and then the bottom just fell out against Lamar Jackson. They had injuries, they practice squad players having to play, they didn't get pressure.
14-13 left in the first.
Has to get pressure with the 4-man defensive line, going up against this beat-up offensive line. If you can't do it against them, who can you do it against?
All right, here we go. Mills throws complete, and that's going to be a 3 and out for the Texans.
He's brought down right around the 30-yard line as they pick up only 5, and Houston will punt. When we talked to David Collins,
4th and 7, 3 and out for the Texans.
With this offense, it started with penalties. They said we cannot afford to put ourselves behind with penalties. We get behind in the sticks, then we can't run the ball. That's exactly what happened on this first drive. The Houston special teams had a rough one last week. Cameron Johnston, who had that errant punt.
What's up, Kay? How's it going?
It really was the turning point of that game against New England. It's off a pretty good one here. It's going to be played by Nyheim Hines from his own 20. Good coverage down the field.
He got to like 21, 26.
Return of only 7 yards. So here comes Carson Wentz. When you talk about a bounce back, he had the 2 ankle injuries that he sustained in that Week 2 game against the Rams. Fought his way through, and he has been really terrific over the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, you and I sat with Frank Reich, and he said he is our guy. He was very confident. This is before the Miami game. He went out and played well, even though he's still overcoming that ankle injury. Then last week, you saw.
Oh, here we go.
Really,
Wentz, first down and 10.
MVP candidate Carson Wentz from previous years. He threw the ball
at the top.
very well, over 400 yards.
Taylor in the backfield. Wentz, ball is snapped.
Hilton lined up at the top of your picture.
And that's who the good old reliable T.Y. Hilton. Wentz goes to him on the first play.
For T.Y. Hilton, they pick up a dozen and a first down for the Colts. Wouldn't you go to a guy that's got 97 receptions, 1,700 yards, and 11 touchdowns against this Texans team? They knew that T.Y. Hilton was going to come in and that they were going to try to feature him. You didn't know how well he was going to do, having been out with that neck injury, and he was so emotional coming out of the tunnel. He told us,
here we go, first down and 10.
I might cry when I come out. You know how much this game means
Hilton
to a
to the
player
bottom
when
of your
they
screen.
tell a crew that.
Wentz, Taylor in the backfield, fakes the handoff, Wentz under pressure, and down he goes.
For his life, never had a chance. Jonathan Grenard coming with the heat for Houston. And it is a loss of 8.
Second down,
That's a ball that Carson
18.
Wentz just got to get rid of. He was rolling left, knew there was pressure, had time even to just throw it away. He holds on to it and eats it. That's something that he's done, Spiro, throughout. He's almost 3 seconds per pass attempt, which is 9th highest and 9th
All right,
longest
second
in the
down,
league.
16.
It's part of the reason that they're the most pressured team in the NFL. So the starters up front, second straight start for Matt Pryor at right tackle. Still no Quentin Nelson and Braden Smith.
Wentz throws incomplete, no flags.
A little bit high, intended for Hines.
3rd and 16.
And that falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and long. This Houston defense transitioning from that traditional 3-4 that they've played over the years now to Lovie Smith and that cover 2 defense. It has been a process.
Yeah, you'll see the 2 deep safeties throughout the game, really trying to not allow the big plays.
3rd down and 16.
Long drives, consistent drives, throwing underneath, making the right reads. That's what Carson
Wentz, empty set. Hit to the top of your screen.
Against this Lovie Smith defense, little sidearm check down delivery. Out of the backfield, it's Hines. There's the marker. 2 flags thrown as Hines crosses the 40. He's going to be well short of the 1st down. Potential face mask here. Hines picks up 9. We'll see if this sticks. As we await the call here from Jerome Boger. And it is on the Colts.
Face mask. Offense.
Personal foul. Face mask. Offense. Number 78. That penalty is declined. The result of the play. 4th down.
It's Ryan Kelly, their all-pro center. So an easy decision for David Culley as they wipe away the flag. And both teams unable to move the football in their opening possessions. Rigoberto Sanchez on for his first offering. And back deep is Roberts right around his own 12-yard line. Roberts veering right and out of bounds. Officials will mark this
at the 15.
Around the Houston 16. 43 yards of the punt. Still looking for a first points on CBS.
This is crazy.
Sure. Guesswork.
Some crazy stuff right here, boys. The Colts and the Texans both punted on their opening drive.
With just a tap. With convenient image search options. And with the ability to see how something looks in your space before you even buy it. It's how the Home Depot takes the guesswork out of the hard work. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
Well, that's the thing about claims, you see. They don't happen on your schedule. I mean, take a chestnut. It doesn't just say, oh, beg pardon, sir, there's now a good time for a jolly bit of window cracking. Oh, I mean, if they did, you wouldn't need a Geico claims team that's available 24/7. But, near as I can tell, chestnuts don't talk. Or maybe they're just really quiet.
Geico, your claims team is here for you 24/7.
Well, I've got things to do, Mr. Chestnut, so...
We did it again. Verizon has been named America's most reliable network by RootMetrics. And our customers rated us #1 for network quality in America, according to J.D. Power. #1 in reliability 16 times in a row. Most awarded for network quality 27 times in a row. Proving once again that nobody builds like Verizon.
Colts punted it on their opening drive.
That's why there's only one best network. The official 5G.
This ain't looking too good, boys. This ain't looking too good. It's gonna be a defensive battle.
We're speaking.
This is most definitely gonna be a defensive battle. What defense can get the most stops when it's most important?
Progress isn't either or.
Which, if you remember last season, the Texans had the chance to tie it up and send it into overtime, and Darius Leonard forced a fumble near the goal line out of
To pick small talk like you're not gonna spend your day going Jessica Jones on that
QQQT, and also another wide receiver for the Texans, going to Sean Watson, still quarterback of the Houston Texans. Obviously, Sean Watson has a lot of really cool stuff going on right now, so he ain't playing. But all right, here we go again.
Picturesque Sunday afternoon here in downtown Indianapolis. This beautiful venue, for my money, as nice as any stadium that there is in the NFL.
All right, here we go. Mills, empty set. Mills throws, complete. Cooks.
As they go right back to the air. That's Brandon Cooks Brought
for
down
about
right
2
around
yards.
the 20 as we welcome you back to the NFL on CBS.
Oh, 3 yards, taken on
Jay.
7.
Hi, Jay. Hey, buddy. Indianapolis, it's interesting. Last year, one of the top defenses in the league, but that has been kind of their Achilles heel through the first 5 weeks of the season.
And they have a challenge today. After that fourth quarter and overtime collapse and allowing the Ravens to come back, a game they really should have won. Both of these teams had opportunities to win games when their offense played well and the defense let them down.
Yeah, you got a point. All right, here we go, Mills.
Quick snap.
Hands off to
This is Philip Lindsay on the tip.
Philip Lindsay, the former Bronco.
A couple of notable changes for the Colts defensively.
The former Bronco. Philip Lindsay.
And Rocky Sean are both back. Pay missing the last couple, and also Xavier Rhodes, who was in the concussion.
Third down conversions this season for the Texans, the 12th in the NFL. All right, here we go, Mills. I believe that Johnson to his right. Mills. Changing the play. Mills drops back. Throws complete.
A first down delivery. Right back to Brandon Cooks. He is certainly the headliner of this Houston wide receiving core as they pick up 9, and Mills definitively knew where he was going.
He did a very good job of understanding. They showed him a cover 2 look, then they spun to one safety, and he did an excellent job
dropped the stick.
Knowing where to go with the ball. And if you're Indianapolis, do not allow Brandon Cooks to beat you. Bill Belichick's so good at that last.
All right, here we go.
Only 3 receptions, 23
Mills.
yards against the Patriots.
Ingram in the backfield.
Fresh set of downs. Much
Mills throws complete.
And a good start here. Mills starting to work some consistency, getting his rhythm. That's Chris Conley. Last week had a 37-yard touchdown catch on a flea flicker. It's a pickup of 10. That's another Houston first down.
This offensive identity, they want to be able to run the ball. David Culley and Tim Kelly came in. They developed a collaboration of what they wanted to see on offense and specifically what their identity was, and it's being able to run the ball. They've struggled this year. Only 3 yards.
All right, here we go.
Carry,
Mills
in the NFL.
hands off to Ingram.
Here's Ingram.
And Ingram goes nowhere.
On the take.
Absolutely.
Third-time Pro Bowler, another couple of years removed from a Pro Bowl season with the Ravens.
Part of that, it's really the whole offense. Part of it's your offensive line, and you've lost now both your tackles and your center. Part of it is the running backs. Part of it's the quarterback not IDing. You know, you have Davis Mills, a rookie,
What's
who
up,
he's
Cole?
doing. He's IDing the mic. He's determining which way the offensive line is going. He's got a lot
Ingram in the backfield. Mills.
That's just the philosophy that they believe in here.
8:40 left in the first encounter.
Watson, he's doing with his quarterbacks now.
Mills hands off to Ingram again. Ingram gets about 5 yards.
He'll get close to the 44-yard line after a pickup of 5. Jay just mentioned the changes.
They're down to 5 coming up.
The big one, Larry Tunsil, but these are the guys now stepping in.
Thank you for the likes. Thank you.
You mentioned first career start at center for Justin McCray, and Christian continues to play at left tackle. Christian came on last week.
All right, they're down in 5. Mills.
Where does Mills go here on 3rd and 5?
I don't know who that is in the backfield. Motions Conley.
Mills has a pre-snap indicator.
Mills. Under pressure, escapes. Mills throws over the middle, complete.
Beautifully done by Mills, and he locates Nico Collins, who's back in the lineup.
Nico
Collins.
Collins.
He went down with the shoulder injury, but a big catch
Nico
for the third-round
Collins.
out of Michigan.
This is what Mills did well last week. Extending plays with his legs, keeping his eyes downfield here. He steps up in the pocket, gets out, keeps his eyes downfield, recognizes its zone, and then finds his receiver.
All right, here we go. Mills takes the handoff to Ingram. Under pressure, going to get rid of it. And that is
That's the tight end, Farrell Brown. You see the marker.
Farrell Brown.
At the end of the
I don't know
play,
who
Brown
that is.
is
That must be a rookie.
brought down inside the Indianapolis 40. It's a pickup of 5 as we await the flag here from Boger.
Holding. Offense. Number 88. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
It's Jordan Akins.
That was holding on the offense. That was a 10-yard penalty.
They bring him across the formation, and then right there you're going to see
Shadow Wolf's Demon. What's up, buddy?
Anytime you get on the edge, that guy's trying to fight off, and you keep gripped on Spiro, and they're pulling away. You have to disengage.
All right,
there.
first down and 20.
Call for the officials.
It's one thing David Culley mentioned to us in our conversation yesterday. They just can't keep
Mills,
playing behind the
Ingram in the
chains.
backfield.
Penalties have been a killer. Little misdirectional play
Cuts
here.
it to Lindsey, and Lindsey fumbles the football.
What's the call here? Leonard.
Picks it up and goes down. Is that a fumble? Or is that down by contact? That was awfully close. He got drilled by Kenny Moore.
Covered by the defense. First down, Indianapolis.
Wow. Julian Blackman, the man who caused the fumble.
Oh, no, that was Julian Blackman. Blackman drilled him and forced the fumble. Minnesota is out to an early lead.
Up with the big stick, and now was that knee down before the ball came out?
Blackman forced a fumble last week that was also recovered by Darius Leonard.
I don't think that's a fumble.
Ended up leading to an Indianapolis touchdown.
I think that's just a 1 yard loss.
Down here, set
It's
left
hard
side
to
of his
see
body.
there.
Again, the most important thing with these video replays you have to pay attention to is what the call on the field is, because then you need
his elbow was down
to overturn, and that's
That
your
one
best
right
look.
there, his elbow was down before the ball came out.
Down by contact at the Houston 49-yard line.
That's what I
Go
think.
back, it'll play second down.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
so
the
you
right
see
call.
Boger reversing the call, Lindsey down, and a big early turning point.
6 minutes,
wiping away
43 seconds.
The Houston turnover.
It's an excellent job by this whole crew, seeing the video, watching the
Clock
angle,
will start
getting the
on
right
his
call,
whistle.
reversing the call, and we didn't have a 6-minute delay.
You certainly like that. Streamline that puppy. So
All right, second and 16.
49-yard line. Second and 16. And it will be Davis Mills working from the shotgun. Darius Leonard asking these fans to make some noise.
All right, here we go. Mills, low snap, gets it complete
Over the middle, that's
to
Cooks.
Cooks.
Busy man already.
And it's going to be third down and a short 7, I believe.
That'll set up a third down at 8 for the Texans.
Third down 8, my
You're
bad.
thinking about the first down, obviously, but if you can get at least 5 yards, you have an opportunity maybe to go for it on fourth down, to kick the field goal. So if you have the opportunity, if you're Mills, to get the first down,
All right, here we go. Mills.
look for something else.
That is Johnson to his right. Mills.
Their kicking game has been shaky. Multiple missed kicks by Ka'imi Fairbairn last week.
Mills. Under pressure, down he goes. And he wasn't alone.
Watch DeForest Buckner come right in. He's such a good player, such a force inside. He gets on the edge. It's right through with a little help from the outside.
Yeah, but it was DeForest Buckner and Kwity Paye.
This is what this defense desperately needs. They have to
That's
get pressure
two
from the front.
300-plus pound men drilling him from both sides.
Season from San Francisco, what an acquisition he was. 9.5 sacks last year. That's his second this season for Indianapolis. Good punt by Johnston and fair caught. So tough starting field position for Indy. They'll have it inside their 10 when we come back.
Oh, unlike seltzer.
But anyway, guys, how are you today? Landon, what's up, buddy? Texans at the Colts. Man. I'm going to end this live and go live immediately after. I'm going to do 3 streams today. I'm going to do this game, the Browns and the Cardinals. You getting my hype?
Always.
Me hype for football. Go Colts.
Nope. How about now? Still no.
Hey, remember Daddy's birthday's tomorrow.
But anyway, I'm gonna do 3 streams today.
A gas card.
3 of them.
I could use this.
Evolve your journey beyond the pump in the first ever Tucson plug-in hybrid EV.
Somebody's mowing grass.
We get paid to give advice.
I can use a
Let me
mower.
give you some. Wherever you're from, you should go back. You won't make it here.
The couriers, fix-it men, part-time gangsters. You hate this town, and all you've done since you were a little boy is dream.
3 live streams, heck yeah, I will be here. In this live stream, change it to Fox, I'll change the title to Cardinals at Browns, I'll stream that game,
They're the prisoners, not us.
and then I'll stream the Seahawks and Steelers
Oh, that's
on
bad
Sunday
news
Night
for you.
Football.
It's not torn to pieces. Not even close. It's coming.
3 streams today. 3 of them. That means I'm going to be live for a total of 12 hours today, because each game is about 3.5 hours long. So I'm going to be live for about 12 hours today. That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. I don't know what to say. That's just ridiculous. Just straight up ridiculous.
Inside Lucas Oil Stadium.
Thank you for the follow, buddy. Thank you. I will follow you back.
Tough starting field position here for Carson Wentz. They'll have it from their own 8-yard line.
Alright, here we go. Wentz. Hines in the backfield.
After the very disappointing finish on
Wentz.
Monday night in Baltimore.
Ball is. Motions passable. Ball is snapped. Hands off to Hines. Hines stutter steps and gets about a yard, maybe 2 yards.
That's Nyheim Hines. Maybe picks up a yard. Let's get our first update of the day. NFL Today update as we throw it to JP.
Ravens on the ground. Yes, they are. They're going to run that football today. 14-yard touchdown run.
Going up by 7. Calm down.
Chargers last in the league in rush defense. Baltimore 7, the Chargers 0. Back to Spiro and Jay.
Calm down. They're only down by 7.
Well, that should make the Colts defense maybe feel.
They're down by a whole lot more last week. Did you get any sleep? Yes, I did. Alright, here we go. Wentz. Passable. In motion.
And they know that they're building. They're getting
Wentz drops back in his own goal line. Wentz gonna throw and complete to my man Michael Pittman.
Certainly the absence of T.Y. Hilton. It's a pickup of 17. Much needed first down.
I liked what Frank Reich said. He has the beast mode mentality. You know, similar to DK Metcalf, just has unique skill set, that size and strength. He's not afraid of anyone, and you pair him with the T.Y. Hilton and Zach Pascal and his route running ability.
All right, here we go. First down and 10. 4 minutes left in the first. It's a scoreless game. Here we go. Wentz ball is snapped, hands off to Taylor. Taylor on that right side, and he gets about 3, maybe 4 yards.
Spent some time with Carson Wentz, and it was such a tough start for him. Of course, this new chapter in his career, foot surgery early August, cost him about 3 weeks of camp. Then he sprained both of his ankles.
He got 3 yards. Second down and 7 coming up.
Comfortable, and the numbers, Jay, the last 2 weeks.
Last 2 games, 73.1 completion percentage, 215 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's great by Wentz. Second and 7. 3:20 left in the first. Good Lord. All right, here we go. Wentz fakes the handoff, throws, complete. Taylor, and Taylor has another Colts first down.
Whether it's a runner or a pass catcher, he picks up 13. And this Colts offense now
he had that big 76-yard touchdown against the Ravens in the first quarter. Dropped a pass. We set up a screen action pass for him. Again last week, and he took it to the house.
Taylor had almost 100.
All right, here we go. First down and 10. Wentz. Ball is snapped. Fakes the handoff. Wentz drops back, looks, slides to his right, and dropped by Taylor.
have to think that was a factor as Taylor unable to squeeze it.
There were questions about Taylor coming out of Wisconsin because they just didn't throw the ball. They ran the ball so much with him. And, you know, his hands have continued, despite that drop right there, his hands have continued to get better. Saw the huge play last week on the screen, and nice catch on the screen on the previous play.
All right, here we go.
That's when you run it for 2,000 yards in back-to-back seasons. You don't have to pass it that
Went
much.
second out of 10 after Taylor dropped it because of the sun, as they say. All right, here we go. Wentz. Is that Taylor or Hines in the backfield? Oh, Hines in the backfield. He fakes the handoff, throws complete to Doolin. That's what I thought that was. I wasn't sure. He don't play very much. Austin Doolin. That is. Third down and 3. 2:05 left in the first. Wentz goes hurry up. Hines in the backfield. Fakes the handoff. Wentz all kinds time. Going to go deep. Caught. Touchdown. What a throw by Wentz. And there's a Texan down at midfield. And Mills is just sitting over there like, oh my God. How am I supposed to respond to that?
There he is at safety, starting for Lonnie Johnson, who had 2 interceptions and played pretty well. But they went with Brooks. That's Brooks. Not coming over late. You have the 2 safeties not working in conjunction together. The only thing you can do in this defense is not allow a receiver to get behind you. That's why you have both of those safeties.
He has been proving himself the past 2 weeks. Good God.
Paris Campbell, who has endured so much injury over the last couple of years. With a
51 touchdown catch.
Injured Houston Texan.
And him and Wentz.
It's Terrence Brooks in the end zone.
In 2016, I was working at the Amazon warehouse.
Oh, well.
When my brother passed away, and a couple of years later, my mother passed away.
See, I hate this damn remote. But what's up, everybody? Well, Colts get on the board first. Colts get on the board. Who was that? The Taz. Thank you for sharing the live, Nicole. Appreciate that. Colts get on the board first, baby. You know, a lot of people say, how about them Cowboys? I say, how about them Colts? How about them Colts? Now they're going to take a 10-hour break. See, they always play an NFL commercial right before the games come back on. They always do it. Listening to the game, Colts, and you're welcome. What's up, Night Wolf? Listening to the game. See if it's getting ready to come back on. Nope. They're going to show this LSU and Ole Miss. Come on with it. Was what? You was listening to the game?
They'll take a closer look at him on that Houston sideline, but what a pass by Carson Wentz. A 51-yarder to Paris Campbell to get the Colts in front. We'll be back in
51 yards. 51 brilliant yards.
Every game is a mind game. Strapped, too heavy, too tired.
I wonder if the Colts would ever sponsor me.
That's all in your head. Train your mind.
He was listening to the game.
Train the game. Because your only limits are the ones you put on yourself.
He's lost it.
There's Paris Campbell. Mentioned all the injuries that he's had to contend with the last couple of years. It's only his second career touchdown catch. Just an absolutely perfect pass by Wentz.
Yeah, and a beautiful design by Frank Wright. You put those safeties in a bind. You have an underneath receiver taking read, and then he thinks Brooks is going to get Paris Campbell, and then he goes back outside. Beautiful design, and then...
All right, Mills, let's see what you got to say now, buddy.
Perfect ball. He's got such a big arm.
Wentz told you about yourself.
Yeah, I know the word patience doesn't
Wentz told you, all right, buddy. Enough is enough.
All the time that Wentz missed.
Enough is enough. We're done goofing around. Let's get to business here. Oh my God, a big return. Andre Roberts. Andre Roberts makes that 35-yard return. Jesus.
And these two safeties are trying to understand what they're doing. Watch that coming across, and that's what Reed's looking at. He sees the underneath route. He thinks Brooks is going to take the other route. They go back outside, away from the other safety. That's why it was such a beautiful design.
Oh, he fell down on his plate. Knocked the wind out of him. All right, here we go. Mills, Ingram in the backfield. Gotta stand up for this one.
Davis Mills and company begin from just outside their own 30.
Ingram!
Good-looking drive start.
Got spun out of bounds.
Shot down out of bounds. Mark Ingram, still got the wheels.
Go flex somewhere else.
Really good job up front, blocking by this offensive line. Ingram's seen it. You got to pull her, run right behind him, and then exploding. This is what they need on this offense. They have to have
go flex somewhere else.
Running the ball to be able to hit play-action shots. Take pressure off of your rookie quarterback.
Oh, Mills is a rookie. Oh boy. All right, first down and 10.
It was close.
Mills, Ingram in the backfield. Fakes the handoff. Mills throws. Incomplete. Xavier Rhodes had coverage. Second and 10 coming up.
And it's incomplete. Well, all this month, Paramount Plus presents Peak Streaming.
Oh, you can tell the Colts defense starting to get a hang of it. Oh boy, that's scary. Once the defense gets a hang of it, and the offense is starting to get a hang, nobody wants to play us.
Peak streaming all month long on Paramount Plus. So Davis Mills, that run of 7 straight completions coming.
All right, here we go. Mills. I think that's Lindsey in the backfield. Hands off to Lindsey. And Lindsey gets about 6, maybe 7 yards. So it's third down and 4, maybe 3. Oh, he got a 5-yard gain. So it's third down and 5 coming up for the Texans. Yeah, maybe. There's 40 seconds left in the first. Mills. Johnson to his left. Gonna set up that screen action, and boy, oh boy, that was blown up by Kenny Moore. One second, guys. Shut up, Mama.
If it was incomplete and you throw a quick screen, you allow them to come up and knock you out of field goal range, and now you have to punt.
Jay, it's a great point. As David Culley will send out his punter, Cam Johnston.
This is the end of the first quarter.
But first, that'll take us to the end of the quarter here in Indianapolis. That long touchdown strike. Wentz to Campbell has been the difference. Colts with a 7-0 lead.
Every road has its challenges. We say, bring them on. At Honda, we engineer each vehicle to outthink obstacles, to overcome difficult conditions. We engineer them for drivers who are determined to power through, just like you are. Rise to the challenge with the rugged performance of the Honda Passport, Pilot, and CR-V.
Right? Was it all his early speeches? The Aqueduct one? I've had the Caesars app since it was in beta testing. The live in-game betting was my idea. You know, I usually like bet on hockey and stuff. Oh my God, they're up by 2. Hey, I'm Carl.
As someone who resembles someone else, I appreciate that Liberty Mutual knows everyone's unique. That's why they customize your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Oh yeah, that's the spot. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If Damian Lillard accepted his spot at the end of the bench, he never would have been at the rec center before it opened. If he listened to those who overlooked him, he never would have heard his name called as a first-round pick. And if he let 6 all-star selections go to his head, he never would have had the heart to give back to the streets that shaped him. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes a lion. Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit.
Better shouldn't have to cost more. At Verizon, plans start at just $35. And if you're not a customer, we'll help cover the cost to switch. Just ask Wanda. She's been with us since now. Everyone gets $500 when they join. Because everyone deserves better.
Watch live games, get real-time scores and updates from your favorite teams. Download the CBS Sports app now.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by The Batman. Only in theaters March 4th. And by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Picturesque day here in Indianapolis. Here's your first quarter stats. Time of possession favoring Houston. But a couple of penalties inopportune, and then they lose about 4 yards on that third down play, knocking them out of field goal range. So Cameron Johnston on the punt. Frustrating end to that drive for David Culley and the Texans. Johnston angling that punt, not his best work, as that is just going to be barely inside the 20-yard line. A punt of just 22 yards, but I mentioned Carson Wentz and his improved play has carried over so far here in Week 6.
Taking what the defense gives you, and then when you have an opportunity to have a big play, go after it. That's what he said us. It's a game about patience today, understanding what they're trying to do, taking what they give, and then when we get the opportunity for a big play, hit it. They get Paris Campbell down the field on a great play design and really well executed. Carson Wentz had the time. The offensive line gave him time to be able to hit that shot.
See Wentz's numbers. What a difference these last couple of weeks have made for him physically as they begin here from their own 18-yard line. This is Hines. And Jay, everyone talking about this eerily similar start to what they had to Reich's first year, 2018. They got off to that 1-5 start, had the incredible run, got into the playoffs, and we asked Frank Reich about it. He said, it does feel similar, and it's not a good feeling. He said, I leave the building, I try to leave work at the office, but they're nights you think, boy, how are we in this 1-4 hole? But then he took a beat and he said, we're only 2 games back with 12 left. Everything's still in front of them.
In a division that's certainly winnable. There's Lonnie Johnson now, Ben. And they said they would rotate the two, Lonnie Johnson and Brooks.
Play action from Wentz. On 2nd and 8. Wentz putting his back into it. Finding T.Y. Hilton. And Carson Wentz with another breathtaking pass. 52 yards to T.Y.
This defense is built on not giving up the big play. The problem is they've had 25 plays coming into this game of 20 yards or more. Only Detroit, Kansas City, and Miami have more. Now they've given up 2 already at the beginning of this game.
So you saw Terrence Brooks, the chest injury that he's dealing with. And that has thrust Lonnie Johnson, who actually has a pick each of the last 2 weeks, into a bigger role. Once his pass for Jack Doyle broken up. Boy, Carson Wentz has been surgical.
Watch T.Y. Hilton come all the way across. There he is, stretching that defense, getting into the hole behind Reed. Johnson not able to get over there. They were so excited about T.Y. Hilton coming back and what he would do for this offense, both on the field but also emotionally. You know, when you sit there and you're at 1-4 and you feel like you really shouldn't be, to get a player like that to come back. And then if they can get their offensive linemen to come back, Smith and Nelson in the next couple weeks, you could see him taking big strides.
On 2nd and 10, Wentz rolling out, buying some time to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Trying to find Mo Alley Cox, who has become more of a focal point in this passing game. Good coverage by Zach Cunningham. But Wentz gave him a shot in the end zone.
Yeah, you get a tight end lined up against the linebacker. Defense struggles against tight ends. You look at all the production that tight ends have had, and they've struggled mightily to cover the tight ends, whether it was Dawson Knox with the Bills or Hunter Henry with New England. Even Cleveland and Jacksonville's tight ends had success.
There's Lovie Smith. What a football life he has had. Multiple flags fly, whistling that play dead before it was able to start. Lovie Smith knew that this was going to be a work in progress. Inherited a defense that was 30th in the league last year. And those growing pains have continued.
Encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Yeah, Spiro, they were 27th in points, 30th in yards, last in turnovers, only 9. That's been the big priority for Lovie Smith, and that's what he's always done. They lead the league in caused fumbles. They've already doubled their interceptions from 3 to 6 this year. But they can't allow the big plays. He wants to keep everything in front, not allow the big play, come up, be sure tacklers are the worst tackling team in the NFL right now, giving up 12 missed tackles a game. It's been a struggle for him trying to figure out who fits best in this defense.
3rd and 5 after the penalty. More play action from Wentz. Texans giving chase. They get good pressure on the quarterback there. And Wentz wisely throws it out of bounds. So here we go. New kicker for the Colts is Michael Badgley. After Rodrigo Blankenship had to be shut down, they placed him on IR this week with a hip injury. And here's Badgley, the former Chargers kicker, who, Jay, didn't kick very well in pregame warm-ups.
No, he certainly didn't. 73% last year, lost his job with the Chargers, went down to Tennessee, 0 for 1 on field goals, 1 for 2 on extra points, and this is a big kick for this young man.
Good snap, good hold, and Badgley is perfect. Who needs those good pregame warm-ups?
All that matters is when you do it, when it counts, Spiro.
Good start for Badgley as the Colts build on their lead.
Got DirecTV Stream. Now we can watch live TV and on demand. Serena, scary movie. Serena, scary movie. Serena Williams, ready to serve.
Quiet, please. Triple match points, Serena Williams.
This is her moment.
Quiet, please. Quiet, please.
Get your TV together with the best of live and on demand. Introducing DirecTV Stream with no annual contract.
The magic is calling you to stay at a Disney Resort hotel, where you're surrounded by the world's most magical celebration. The fun never stops. Special friends greet you. You soar to adventures with extra time in any of the 4 theme parks every day. The 50th anniversary awaits. Start planning your vacation at DisneyWorld.com. why would you stay anywhere else?
Verizon got you paying more for their limited 5G coverage. At T-Mobile, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between the most 5G coverage and great value. So we unleash the 5G experience on Magenta Max. With 4 times more 5G coverage than Verizon and unlimited premium data that can't slow down based on how much smartphone data you use. That's right. Get 5G in more places all across America and better value on a plan built for 5G. Only at T-Mobile.
Some like you to think they still build the best trucks. But according to just about anybody who's handing out a trophy, Ram currently builds the best trucks. So if you're shopping for a truck today, here it is. If you're shopping in the past, well, good luck with that. Ram, the top brand in new vehicle quality in the entire automotive industry.
During Ram Power Days, get 0% financing for 72 months on most 2021 Ram 1500 Crew Cab models.
Are we having a dinner party?
I was sort of hoping maybe you guys would just give us some space.
No ghosts allowed. Ouch.
We love dinner parties. So sure, there's other stuff we can do.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah. There's a spider in the attic that's spinning some pretty interesting stuff.
A new Ghosts, Thursday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
There's your score. Encouraging sign for Frank Reich. Michael Badgley, kicker the Colts just signed with a good start. Rigoberto Sanchez, the punter, handling kickoffs. One thing that's kind of been a weakness for Badgley. One of the reasons why he lost his job with the Chargers. There's not a lot of distance on those kicks. Good one into the end zone. On Tuesday, several crucial catch warriors who are battling cancer received special deliveries in person from Colts mascot Blue, as well as members of the Colts cheerleaders and players via Colts robots. In addition to the Colts crucial catch gear, the Warriors also received tickets to today's game. What a moment for them, their families, and just a terrific initiative by the Indianapolis Colts. Nice to see those smiling faces here at Lucas Oil Stadium. So here's Davis Mills. They begin from their own 25-yard line, trying to find their first points. Mills, nice pass over the middle. That's Nico Collins. Got his first action since going down with the shoulder injury. The rookie 18-yard pickup. First action since week 2.
Nico Collins can stretch the field. He's a guy they love having back out there. But I've been impressed with Davis Mills. He really struggled against Buffalo. You look at those numbers, they were terrible. 4 interceptions. And then came back against New England. But Buffalo runs with Leslie Frazier, a similar defense to the Colts, and you wondered how would Davis Mills come out and play against a similar defense that he really struggled against, and he's been really efficient so far.
Ingram on the take as he'll get close to the 45. And Jay, you always wonder about the young rookie quarterbacks when they have a bad game like that, and that was a nightmare against Buffalo with the 4 picks. We asked him about it, and he said, I forgot about that after we got through the film session on Monday. He's got a lot of resiliency, and his teammates said the same thing that they've noticed about him. Brandon Cooks, even Justin Reed, the defenders have noticed that about the young quarterback.
Especially for a guy, he only started 11 times at Stanford. He doesn't have a lot of experience, and this was not an easy situation for him to step into and have to play.
Play action for Mills. Rolls out on 2nd and 9. Throwing into the sun. That's a tough catch. But it's made by Jordan Akins. And that'll be a first down connection. Beautifully done by Mills. A pickup of 14.
Both teams struggle against tight ends. You're going to watch them coming all the way across. Little deep in-breaker. Look at him get behind the linebackers. That's why it's so important to be able to run the ball effectively. Play action. Suck up the linebackers. Get your tight end in behind. That's how you beat these cover 2 defenses. Now, Indy is cover 2, cover 3. They kind of flip back and forth.
More play action. Mills steps up in the pocket, goes to the check down underneath. This is Lindsey out of the backfield. Gets all the way down to the Colts 35-yard line. And when Mills making his 4th straight start, Tyrod Taylor is getting close to his return from the hamstring. He went down in week 2. David Culley saying this week that it will be Tyrod, the starter, once he gets back. But this is invaluable for their GM Nick Caserio, their head coach, to get a look at what they have in Davis Mills.
Well, it's an interesting question, too. If Davis Mills continues to get better and play like he did last week, play like he's playing so far today, Not sure how you make that decision and go back to Tyrod Taylor.
Interesting. Mills taking his first chance to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Unable to locate Brandon Cooks. Good tight coverage on the play by Kenny Moore. Let's get another NFL Today update. JB in New York.
Familiar name, different uniform. How about this? Le'Veon Bell. That's right, Le'Veon Bell goes across the formation. 2-yard touchdown run by him. Baltimore 14, the Chargers nothing. Back to Sparrow and Jay.
Well, that may be the game of the day. Up on the marquee, two franchises with championship aspirations. Jay, here we go. Big 3rd and 1 for the Texans. Play clock down to 5 already. The rookie able to get it off. Fires near side. And it is caught. A bullet pass. Brandon Cooks. And a first down for the Texans.
What an excellent snag by Cooks. Watch him run this route. And you said it. He fired this ball, and Cooks comes outside. Boom, it's there right away. Just has to get the hands out. It's been so good for them this year. Really the only receiver that's had consistent production. He's got 44 targets coming in today. Next highest was David Johnson, the running back, with 16. So Cooks has been instrumental in their passing game.
See the distribution, how Mills has spread the wealth. It was crazy to think as Ingram cuts inside the 25-yard line. Entering this game, Cooks was the only wide receiver for Houston who had double-digit catches. And you're talking about 5-6 weeks into the season. To shed some light on the struggles that they've had.
It's also why it's such a hard position for Davis Mills to come into. You know, there's so much turnover on this team. We talked about that with Justin Reed. Just offensively, defensively, all the new guys. He's done a pretty good job so far for a young rookie.
Carson Wentz waiting for his next turn, but right now Mills looking impressive. Trying to get Houston its first points. David Johnson on his first take of the afternoon, and he is going nowhere. 3rd and 3. We'll see what their offensive coordinator Tim Kelly dials up here with Houston playing at a 10-point hole.
Does he bring the blitz or does he sit back? We got 6 men at the line of scrimmage right now. There's Davis Mills, ID in the mic, setting the protection.
Quick drop, quick release, it's caught. Nico Collins. First down Houston, and you mentioned the blitz pickup. One thing about Davis Mills, for a young quarterback, he is very adept at setting the protections at the line of scrimmage.
You know, if you're a fan sitting at home, you might not think that's a big deal. Okay, he's a professional quarterback, that's what he should do. But when you talk to young quarterbacks, you know, when you talk to a Patrick Mahomes and he says that's one of the hardest things I had to do. When you talk to Justin Herbert, who even this year, his second year, they decided, hey, we'll let Corey Lindsey, the center, he'll take care of protection, so we don't have to have that on Justin Herbert. To put that on a young guy like Davis Mills, for him to be effective doing it says a lot about his football IQ.
Check down delivery. Here's Ingram out of the backfield. Weaves his way through a crowd. Inside the 15, close to the 12. And boy, hard not to be really impressed with what you're seeing right now from Davis Mills and this Houston offense.
We kept asking him, hey, this is going to be a similar defense to the Bills. What do you have to do to be effective? And he said, it's a pure progression game. I have to understand what they're doing post-snap and then not make mistakes. Protect the ball. He's been efficient, and he's protected the ball so far.
This will be the 11th play of the drive, 2nd and 5. Back to the ground game with Ingram. Just barely going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And another 3rd down coming up. And one thing about Mills, the other impressive part is we get a late marker thrown in here. How good Davis Mills was on 3rd and 4th down last week against the Patriots. And now a couple of injured Colts will be tended to. Looks like Grover Stewart and Isaac Rochelle as the athletic trainers come onto the field.
stress seems to evaporate into thin air, which leaves us to wonder, where does it go? Does it get tangled up in knots? Or fall victim to gravity? Or maybe it winds up somewhere over the Bermuda Triangle. Perhaps you'll come up with your own theory of where the stress goes. Behind the wheel of a Lincoln is a mighty fine place to start.
Domino's new oven-baked dips are so new that we made a new commercial about their newness. Try new flavors like our cheesy marinara, baked apple, or hot and melty 5-cheese with our not new but still delicious twists. Carry out Domino's new oven-baked dips and twist combos or any 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each.
We're back on the Corona Hotline Show with superfan Jeremy. Jeremy, it's a long season. How do you unwind?
Well, I grab a Corona,
Go on.
and I watch football.
And
that is it.
Brilliant.
Find your game day good life.
Ella me calienta como el fuego. En la cama la riego. Ella le gusta picante el fuego. En donde sea le llego. Ya le metemos que la.
Been a blast. This was a suicide bombing attempt
By a member of the United States military.
We got a problem, and you're not gonna like it.
He's trying to recruit more people. We might have more suicide bombers out there.
A new NCIS, Monday, 9/8 Central, on CBS, and streaming on Paramount+.
Week 6 continues later today on Fox and CBS, then tonight on NBC. Tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN. Stream games on mobile with the Yahoo Sports and NFL apps.
Well, good news for the Colts. Both Grover Stewart and Isaac Rochelle look like they're okay. They were both able to walk off in their own power. But there'll be spectators here on a big 3rd and 5 for the Texans.
Yeah, they were so good. You mentioned it. 3rd and 4th down last week. Davis Mills, 12 of 13, 209 yards and 2 touchdowns. Watch the seams. I'm showing one safety, so you got the seams outside the tackles. That's where the weakness is. Seams in the flats.
Pocket stays clean. That pass, my goodness, nearly picked. Khari Willis returned last week from injured reserve. He played about 19 snaps, and boy, he wants that one back.
Yeah, he would have scored a touchdown. That would have been a pick 6. Misread by Davis Mills. Doesn't see Khari Willis coming across. Doesn't get much easier than that. Just off his fingertips.
Those arms outstretched. Well, the time of possession in this game has been more than 2-1 in Houston's favor. Just haven't had much to show for it. Those 2 big Colts plays have been the difference. Here's Fairbairn, the point after the shaky outing last week. This is his 3rd game back from IR, and he is good here on a 31-yard chip shot to get the Texans their first points.
Better shouldn't have to cost more. At Verizon, plans start at just $35. And if you're not a customer, we'll help cover the cost to switch. Just ask Wanda. She's been with us since now. Everyone gets $500 when they join. Because everyone deserves better.
With 26 flavors, got a sauce for every squad. Don't drip on the drip. It's the greatest of all time. Buffalo Wild Wings.
This gold means you're a champion. But this gold means you're a champion of warmth. Because Omni-Heat Infinity uses thousands of gold dots to reflect more of your body heat. Our gold beats cold. Omni-Heat Infinity from Columbia, the gold standard in warmth.
Keenan.
Hey, Keenan.
Looking good.
Feeling good. I just found all these cars on Auto Trader.
Wow.
I wait for the best part there, Microwave. A dealer is going to deliver this car to our home.
Never leave home. Never leave home.
Oh, it's here. There is one thing I can't do from home. Drive.
Someone stop him.
Keenan!
Got your letter, refrigerator.
Roll out.
The airport can be a real challenge for new homeowners who have become their parents. Okay, everybody, let's do a ticket check. Paper tickets. We're off to a horrible start. but we can overcome it. We're not going to point out our houses, landmarks, or major highways during takeoff.
Don't buy anything. I packed so many delicious snacks. They're...
Nope.
Just say ballpark when Group 2 is going to get boarded.
2 hours and 58 minutes.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
Someone should have left home earlier.
Time now to take a look at the game snapshot as presented by Progressive Insurance. Davis Mills feeling the heat early in this game, but the rookie has bounced back nicely. Buckner with the sack. The two big plays by Wentz, the 51-yarder to Paris Campbell. Got the Colts on the board first. Wentz has been dealing for this Indianapolis offense. And speaking of Paris Campbell, he has been downgraded to out, so he's out for the rest of the game, foot injury. So even on the day where the young man has the fireworks, he just can't seem to avoid the injury bug. And that has been frustrating for him, to say the least. Short kick. And good starting field position on a nice return by Doolin. As here comes Carson Wentz. Reminder to keep it here. The Verizon halftime report comes your way next. JB and the fellas standing by. They'll take you around the league. Latest NFL scores and highlights. Week number 6. It's all coming up on the Verizon halftime report. So a couple of interesting things. They haven't had the football much. I guess you don't need it when you have the big plays that they had.
Yeah.
And only one rushing attempt so far
that
for Jonathan
was a surprising thing. We were looking at that in the break, and Carson Wentz has been able to hit the two big plays. They got to get back to running the ball because that sets everything up.
Colts begin from their own 28-yard line. Little misdirection called here by Frank Reich. Here's Michael Pittman trying to get him out into space. So we know, Jay, that Wentz is looking really good. What have you seen? Why is he having success right now?
To be successful with big plays against this defense, this Tampa 2 defense that Lovie Smith runs, a quarterback has to manipulate with their shoulders and their eyes to make those safeties move and create those windows. He's done an excellent job. They did it with play design as well as Carson Wentz manipulating them, understanding how to make that defense move so you create those windows. That's how both of those big plays happen.
On 2nd and 7.
Oh, that was open.
Marlon Mack, first time his number has been called. He had a lot of open real estate in front of him, but what a closeout by Whitney Merciless.
He was patient and paused. If he hits this hole fast, right here, if he just gets it and goes, they have the edge. They have the corner. He gets caught from the backside. That play could have been really big, Spiro.
It's a pretty good defensive play by Merciless. Second all-time on the Texans sack list, 57. But right now showing his worth in the run defense.
So you got Reed down in the box. You have one safety back.
Where does Wentz go here on 3rd and 3? Near side into the shadows. It's caught. T.Y. Hilton had a 52-yard catch earlier if you've just joined us. This one good for a half dozen. And a fresh set of downs for the Colts.
It's pretty good coverage, and when he threw it, I thought it might be picked. But you can see the arm strength that Carson Wentz has, throwing it right by T.Y., just understanding how to run my route. Get into him, don't extend and push off. Use your body, create leverage. Allow your quarterback to throw it in there.
Oh, that guy is a sight for sore eyes for Colts fans. Back in the mix. This will be a false start penalty. Looked like Eric Fisher.
False start. Offense, number 79 and number 61. 5-yard penalty. First down.
First penalty against the Colts.
T.Y. is a sight for sore eyes for Colts fans, but if you're the Texans, their fans and their staff, you're like, really? You got to come back against us? You have torched us your entire career. He's got 3 for 70 already today.
We've had nightmares about this guy over the years. One of the all-time greats in the history of this Colts franchise. Once faking the handoff, near side. Another terrific ball. It's Pittman on the catch. What concentration by Pittman, trying to get both of those feet down. Outstretched arms,
yeah, perfect.
Textbook for 18.
And textbook from Carson Wentz. He comes in, he manipulates the safety with his eyes. You think he's going to go down the seam to the tight end. That holds the safety, and then that creates the window. It's the weakness of that cover two is in that hole. But to get there, you have to have the corner come up, and you have to manipulate the safety. Perfect job by Carson Wentz.
Second catch for Pittman. First down Colts from the Houston 46. Jonathan Taylor, only his second rushing attempt of the day. Looked like the football came out, but not before Taylor hit the turf. It's a pickup of 3, and that'll set up a 2nd and 7 for the Colts.
Jonathan Taylor, 2 attempts, 6 yards. I still think he's going to have a big day. There's going to be opportunities for him against this defense because in this defense for Lovie Smith, the corners have to come up and tackle. They force you wide. And these corners are not great tacklers. You put Jonathan Taylor out wide on the corner, I'll take him all day long.
Man in motion is Pascal. Colts keep it on the ground on second down. This is Hines. And you think of how they struggled the first 3 weeks of the season. They had really gotten away from the ground game. But the running attack has been a big part of their mix the last couple of weeks. Although they've gotten off to a slow start so far here.
And a big part of that, I think, was Carson Wentz's lack of mobility after he got hurt against the Rams, certainly in that Tennessee game. There's a big play here for this Texans defense. If you can hold him here, you force a punt.
Well, this could be the second false start on Fisher on this drive alone. Looked like Bernard may have gone even earlier.
Yeah, this is going to be, I believe, on the Texans, and it's going to give them a first down.
The false start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. Still third down. Please reset the game clock to 2:01.
Well, Eric Fisher stepped into those massive shoes left by Anthony Costanzo's retirement.
He's responding to the defender coming across. Now, the question is, was he into the neutral zone? And then Fisher responds and steps up and touches him just like you're supposed to do.
This is a 2-minute warning.
Big call against Fisher and the Colts. And now a special look at the Batman, only in theaters March 4th.
To all the kisses that led to this one. Celebrate every kiss with Kay.
Are you ready to meet the new class of Subway's Eat Fresh Refresh? The new Baja Steak and Jack, new All-American Club, the new Italian BMT, new Turkey Cali Fresh, and new Trevor Lawrence? Man, you're not a sandwich. Order in the app now to save big.
It's the Eat Fresh Refresh at Subway. There's so much new, they had to sponsor this segment about new plays in the league. In Dallas, Cowboys cornerback Anthony Brown jumped in front of receiver Colin Johnson to snare an interception and return it for a pick six. Bills safety Micah Hyde also had a pick six, part of Buffalo's win over the Chiefs. Refresh your game day lineup with one of Subway's new footlongs, like the new Baja Steak and Jack, or the new big and meaty Italian BMT. It's so much new, it barely fits in this promo.
Somebody beat up a 73-year-old Vietnam War veteran. Who does that?
Someone that's about to be hunted down by us.
New NCIS Los Angeles, tonight on CBS.
Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, JB, Phil, Nate Boomer, and Coach Cower get you caught up around the league. Get you caught up on the big one in Baltimore, Ravens and the Chargers. It's all to come on the Verizon Halftime Report. So big third down here. Jay, potential 2-down territory. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you should have had that conversation. Hey, if we get 7 yards, we're going to go for it. Then Carson Wentz knows if I don't have the shot deep, I can go underneath and try to pick it up and get 4th down.
Wentz from the shotgun on 3rd and 9 underneath, and it's a drop. Mo Alley-Cox has been pretty short-handed, but that was a little bit of a tougher play, turning his body. And it looks like on 4th down, Reich will make the decision to send out his punter.
I think that's one that Mo Alley-Cox would say, I should have caught this. It's there. It's a little behind. And he's running away, so it's a tough catch. But it's exactly the play. They look deep. It wasn't there. They go to the check down underneath. It was probably going to be 2 yards short, but they probably go for it on 4th down.
So here's Rigoberto Sanchez, 27-year-old, 50-year punter, trying to get them pinned inside their own 10. This one will take a beautiful Colts bounce. And a terrific play down the field by Luke Rhodes to get there for Indianapolis. All smiles from Sanchez, 40 yards on a perfectly angled punt. That's what you want to see from your special teams. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
There's no better feeling than a win. Except to bet MGM win. Goodbye. Woo! That one hurt good. You feel that? Yeah. Now you're winning with the king of sports books. Come on.
The best things America makes are the things America makes out here. The history she writes in her clear blue skies, the legends she births on hometown fields, and the future she promises. When we made Grand Wagoneer, proudly assembled in America, we knew no object would ever rank with the best things in this country. But we believed we could make something worthy of their spirit.
Rated E for everyone.
You're up, Rolly. First day jitters.
If we're gonna restore people's faith, then we gotta have the truth.
We can't have the appearance of a cover-up.
No pressure, no diamonds.
Honey, I got a problem. If you need to hold on to something, hold on to me.
A new CSI Vegas, Wednesday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Let's see how aggressive David Culley and his offense want to get here. $1:49 left. You certainly don't want to leave enough time for the Colts to have a chance before the intermission. Texans begin on the ground. Ingram, beautiful little cutback maneuver will get them some breathing room out right around the 10. But fascinating to see how they handle this. Rookie quarterback what kind of chance they want to take.
And we talked about in the break, I thought they'd be pretty conservative unless they get the first down. If they get the first down, then you start getting a little bit more aggressive. You don't want to come out, throw the ball 3 times, intercept or incompletions, and then punt the ball back. And the Colts have 3 timeout, and they try to go down and score. Then they get the ball again in the second half. They could double dip. You have to be concerned with all that.
Well, that going through a mind of Mills. This will be a first down run. Nicely done by Mark Ingram, who's been very impressive in this first half. It's a pickup of 6. Looked like Pharaoh Brown letting that Colts defense hear about it.
Well, the play clock's running, so if you're the Texans, you don't have time for any of that. You got a minute left. You got the first down. Now you can be a little bit more aggressive.
Mills back to the air. That is Brown. Well played, Corey Willis. So a pickup of only 3, and now the chess match between the two coaches begins. Timeout taken by Houston. We'll step aside. Back in 30 seconds after this from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm. Thanks for the great rate on my insurance, man.
Wait, I said Byron got the pageant price? Thought that was our thing.
Thanks for the killer rate, Jake.
Shreddy Betty got it too?
Patrick, State Farm offers rates that fit anyone's budget, even on a man handstand.
Thanks again, Jake. Up top. I'm gonna go work out these feelings.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
That was actually a timeout taken by Frank Reich. So 42 seconds, that takes you into the mind of both coaches. David Culley thinking more conservatively here, 2nd and 7. Mills wisely just throws it into the turf and stops the clock with 39 seconds.
They had David Johnson out wide. They motioned him back, tried to hit a screen to him, and you're right, Spiro. That David Culley not calling the timeout tells you, hey, I'm content to go in 10-3 and not put my young quarterback in a situation where he might make a big mistake. And Frank Reich saying, hey, we have a chance to break this game open right here. If we can get a stop now on 3rd down, get the ball back, score, and then get the ball again, we could take this 7-point lead and really break it open.
Well, if you're going to play conservatively, may as well run the football.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's what they're trying to do.
All right, I know I missed a lot, but it's okay. All right, here we go. 4 down, 7. Mills throws, complete. Cooks. 33 seconds left in the second. Houston has all 3 timeouts. Right by 7.
For Brandon Cooks. When we talked to the coaches, Matt Eberflus said our plan is to get hands on Cooks, reroute him at the line of scrimmage. Well, they didn't get any hands on him there. He was free to run and get the first down.
There's a flag. Could be a free play for the Texans. Johnson, what's the ruling here? Indianapolis with a clear recovery.
You too, buddy. You too.
It was Kenny Moore. A lot to sort through here. The initial marker thrown right at the line of scrimmage.
You too, buddy.
Did he possess the ball before losing it?
The ruling on the field is a catch and a fumble.
Nobody blocks you.
During the play, illegal shift, offense.
Wow.
Wait, what happened?
He's going to take 2 steps and make a football move after securing the ball. No, he never had it.
Boy, that is close.
He never had it.
Every turnover subject to automatic review.
That ball is moving.
He took 2 steps.
He never secured
Motherfucker.
the ball. He doesn't take 2 steps.
Oh my God. See?
Well, this is going to be very interesting.
Never mind.
I think it comes back, and then you'll get the
I'm
penalty
done.
for the illegal shift.
Dude.
Jerome Boger.
Now they're going to take 5.5 hours just to review one play.
Direct communication with the officiating crew in New York.
5.5 hours just to review one play. Your friends are amazing.
Since our beginning,
I'd never block you.
to inspire and nurture each other.
Oh, you kind of can't. You're not a mod.
What's possible? What's possible when we connect? What's possible when we come together?
Now, Ryan, I am gonna have to remember who the hell you are, because I have 2,224 people to keep track of.
It's just the beginning.
So.
He's yours now.
We got your car, sweetie.
A dealership?
I ain't making nobody sad.
Looks like you done picked the wrong website, Chief.
It's time.
Look like you done picked the wrong website, Chief.
So you didn't go to a dealership?
Look like you done picked the wrong website, Chief.
Never go to a dealership again. Go to vroom.com, buy a car, and we'll deliver it straight to you.
I'd never block you either. Well, why not?
How do your clients know that? Because as a fiduciary, it's our responsibility to always put clients
You deserve
first.
the world.
So you do it because you have to? No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. We help clients enjoy a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility.
One that we don't take lightly. It's why
Not sad, blushing.
do better when our clients
Oh,
do.
well.
Fisher Investments is clearly
I'm sorry.
different.
Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate that. I may have to go again and get this bag of dog food, let this dog in. You know, let another dog out so he can use the restroom.
We fight for these moments, developing life-changing.
But the dog, this dog's owner come by and wanted to see him, so I can't tell him no. He is the owner, so I know you're waiting for that damn duet. I know, but we've been fighting the devil, you know. We've been fighting the devil for way too long. Hey, if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Good ass video. After review.
After reviewing the play, it is an incomplete pass. The receiver never had full control of the ball. Please set the game clock to 29 seconds. We will now go back and enforce the illegal shift, the 5-yard penalty. Still first down for Houston. There is no 10-second runoff because the play clock was stopped. The game clock was stopped.
Let's quickly bring in Gene's territory. Gene, how did you see this play?
Exactly the way Jay framed it, Spiro. He did a great job. I don't want his head to get too big on the officiating end, but he did an excellent
He never
job.
had control.
Third element's not there. Ball's coming out. Incomplete. Great job.
He never had control, yet he had complete control when he took 2 steps. First down and 15. This is a bullshit game. Mills under pressure, going to roll out, throw incomplete.
Beautiful
To
job by Chris
whoever the hell that is. That's a timeout by the Houston Texans.
Looks like David Cullen will take it right here.
That's a 30-second timeout.
Jay, I gotta say, we may be the presidents of the Davis Mills fan club. If this continues, he has looked really, really impressive in his first half.
Yeah, and they did a good job with their staff.
Has he?
First down.
Has he really?
Don't get really aggressive. Run it a couple times. Okay, now we get the first down. Now we can be aggressive. And now you're in a position with 22 seconds
You do
left
deserve the world
to be able to
and
try to get down and kick a field goal and cut this lead to 10 to
huggies and
6.
kissies. Okay.
There's Fairbairn trying to get that one.
This happened from TikTok to
longest
Tinder.
55-yarder. If you're looking at the 40-yard line, that's probably the yardage where he can make that a 58-yard field goal from there.
All right, here we go. First down and 10. Mills throws. Oh! Almost intercepted. And of course, you're looking for a fucking flag, ain't you? You ain't gonna get it. Third down and 4. Who's your college team? Who's... Oh, well. I don't really watch college football, buddy. I'm sorry. No need to thank me. Yeah, I don't watch college football. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
No harm, no foul. Long step back is Johnson. 3rd and 4. Here they come. Mills sacked again. Corey Willis lead the charge for the Colts.
This play right here just took too long to develop. downfield, no one was open. Mills didn't have an outlet early. There was nowhere to go. And Willis just does an unbelievable job of getting in there fast, slipping inside. Watch this move right there. Poor job by David Johnson. You have to be inside out blocking. But really, it was an excellent job by that secondary. Nowhere to go with Mills. He wanted to get rid of that ball quick. There was nowhere to go. And then Indianapolis takes the timeout. They may be thinking, hey, they had struggles last week punting the ball. They had a 0-yard punt. Those kind of things stay in your head. If you're Cameron Johnson, the punter, you're just focused on getting this ball, trying to get a good punt off, not allow them to have any kind of return.
So Khari Willis, who didn't play week 4 with that groin injury against Miami, returned last week with limited defensive snaps. Back to full form today, gets his first full sack of the season. 4th punt for Johnston, trying to angle this, get the bounce, and this is going to be beautifully done.
I'm not sure there why Nyheim Hines didn't return that. It was a low punt, and he could have got it and tried to get some yardage. Who knows? Maybe you break it.
Texans special teams that have been much maligned, getting a big play there from Johnston. Oh, Inside the NFL now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus. Get inside expert analysis, commentary from the hardest-hitting team in the sport. And including James Brown, Phil Simms, Brandon Marshall, Ray Lewis, Michael Irvin, and Julian Edelman. New episodes streaming the Emmy Award-winning series Tuesdays at 9:30 Eastern Time. Carson Wentz going to take a knee where they didn't have the football much in the first half, but some pretty good fireworks. A couple of long passes by Wentz, including the 51-yarder to Paris Campbell, and they'll take a 7-point lead into the halftime locker room here in Indianapolis. Your halftime score, 10-3 Colts over the Texans. Halftime is next after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station.
You know how some carriers give you so little for your older busted phone you just end up living with it? I don't think so. Verizon lets you trade in your broken phone for a shiny new one. You break it, we upgrade it. You dunk it, doggy bone it, slam it, wham it, strawberry jam it. We upgrade it.
Get a 5G phone on us with select plans.
Every customer, current, new, or business. Because everyone deserves better. And with plans starting at just $35, better costs less than you think.
And New Ghosts, Thursday, 9/8 Central on CBS.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Always Toyota SUVs.
Right now, get 1.9% APR for 60 months on your favorite Toyota models. Toyota, let's go places.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling. You can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
Good to have you boys back. You know how it is. You never really left. Slow down, though, will you? I gotta make my picks. You wanna get on this win bet with me?
I like where your head's at, but Boston's not covering.
Win bet, huh? Yep. Bet any game, any time, and you bet with wins, so it's the best. You know,
look at the numbers.
Look at the offense.
Look what, Frank? A microscope?
Go with Boston. Don't worry, Frank, I already made my picks. That's what you two go at it.
You have an allegiance to Boston right now.
That's called
Okay, guys, I'm back. Had to take care of some things. But I think we just went to halftime. I believe. Yep, halftime. Colts 10, Texans 3. Yep. This is just the hangout show. Because I don't watch the halftime. Fuck that. I don't watch the halftime. Well, welcome back everybody. I might watch it today.
Be exhausted, so the leaders are going to have to step up. My eyes will be on Derek Carr. And then when you look at Dallas and New England, on paper, the Cowboys, they are a better squad. So the only way they lose is if Bill Belichick outcoaches Mike McCarthy. But Dak Prescott has been playing phenomenal, second in the league in completion percentage. He is going to continue his MVP campaign.
You know the chess match is on. All right, folks, and the Verizon halftime report continues after this.
Jesus Christ. These people play more commercials than they do halftime or the actual game. They play more commercials. Yeah, it kind of gets on my nerves. But yeah, I had to take care of some things. Had to let some dogs out. Had to let one dog out. Had to let the other dogs out. So the Colts score a touchdown and a field goal in the first half. And go into halftime up by 7. And the Colts get it to receive. And the Colts receive it. Mine, you know what's missing. The snacks, LOL, in it. Okay, I got you. I got snacks. Oh yeah, I got snacks. I'll be live again at 4:05 p.m. for the Cardinals and Browns, and then I'll be live again at 8:20 p.m. for the Seahawks and Steelers. So, just letting y'all know right now, right here. Hold on, I got a dog wanting in. Coffee. Ooh, let's see.
Face mask, that's to pay homage to Sean Taylor, the late Sean Taylor, who his number was retired today. But onto the field, Patrick Mahomes hits Jody Fortson. That would lead them to a touchdown by Darrell Williams. But how about this? Let's crack open ice cold Heineke. And that is a big time
ice cold Heineke.
Jones, 39-yard touchdown. The Washington football team up 13-10.
All right, the Bengals at the line. Joe Burrow's going to hit Chris Evans for his first touchdown of his career for Evans, 24 yards.
Nice.
They take a 7-0 lead, back on a field goal. Joe Burrow 11-18, 113 yards, 1 TD. Bengals lead 10-0.
Big NFC North matchup
No.
right here. Coming in the 12th.
I don't do the live Doyle's or Doyle or whatever it's called.
But they lead 10-7.
Vikings, Panthers, Kirk Cousins.
I made it with love. No.
Yeah, I know he hopes every touchdown is as easy as this one. Chris Herndon gets in for the 2-yard TD. They would not make the 2-point conversion, but they are at 12-10.
Carson Wentz, you game you're watching, becomes better and better. Little play action, run the ball like they can. He just floats it up there, and there's Paris Campbell running underneath it from 51 yards out. And Paris Campbell had to leave the game with foot injury, but they lead 10-3 at the half.
Of course.
Dolphins and Jaguars over in London. How about the Jags on 4th and 8? They throw a quick slant pattern, call timeout, kick a field goal. Game winner right here. First game of the year for Urban Meyer and the Jaguars to win. Brian Flores, the Miami Dolphins, fall over there in London. He's disgusted. Urban Meyer is happy. 23-20 Jags.
The Dolphins could have won that, but you know, the Dolphins done Dolphins type things.
Boomer Rams at the Giants.
Damn.
It's Matt Stafford down
28-3.
Henderson, 25-yard
Ooh.
touchdown pass.
15 to 20, 196 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Carson Wentz on the rebound. Good game last week, threw for 400. How about this throw to Michael Pittman? Nice.
Then he looks down the field and just throws a moon ball. Straight up, straight down. Paris Campbell catches it for the touchdown. And then his old friend, T.Y. Hilton, is back. Another deep pass down the field. Nice job. Nice. Back in that football, making that catch. Carson Wentz.
That's a good ass throw by Carson Wentz. 9 of 15, 185 yards on a touchdown pass. Let's go, Wentz!
He played well down in Miami.
There you go, get that ass cold brewski.
Don't give up on him. They're still in this race.
A lot of talk in the offseason about reuniting Carson Wentz with Frank Reich, and I think we saw the culmination of that last week against the Ravens, and now we're seeing it again with T.Y. Hilton back on the field. You can see the arm is still there, guys.
Good old T.Y. Hilton, the ageless wonder.
The difference is you've got a different play caller, a different play designer who knows his quarterback, and he's getting the most out of him, and that's exactly what the Colts were hoping for this offseason.
Seems like he's finally comfortable within that system. Phil, you said something a few years ago. Never judge a guy when he's injured. He's been banged up to start off this season. It looks like he's healthy, and that arm is definitely still there, right? Big-time plays.
You know what? From the Houston Texans, I think I'm looking at the quarterback. I'm going to trust
Nicole knows. He light up them brewskis all. Whip and dip with you all day long.
Dallas at Foxborough coming up later. Nate, Dak, and
Ezekiel. No, we ain't streaming that game. Fuck you. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys go to New England to play the New England Patriots in good old Matt Jones.
The official 5G network of the NFL. This is 5G built right.
We'll get you out to your game next. We'll get you out to your game next. Hey, look. I found me on the TV. Found me on the TV. Right here driving this brand new Honda. This Honda Accord. It's self-driving. Welcome to 2021. Yeah, fuck that. $9.99 a month. You're nuts. Oh, $169 a month for 36 months. That's a long ass time. That ain't bad, $169 a month. Ooh, that is bad. Never mind. Fuck that. You're famous, LOL, if you're on TV. Hey, I may be on TV one of these days. You just never know. I may become an NFL announcer. You know? You feel what I'm saying? And playing? And taying and gaining and daying? Yeah, I heard. Oh boy. The game getting ready to come back, or halftime getting ready to come back on. It is prohibited.
Want more stats?
No,
Just
I don't.
Ask Siri, who leads the league in passing yards?
That's who leads the league.
And we're just about ready to sit in for the final two quarters. 10-3. Indianapolis in front. As we welcome you back to the NFL on CBS. Spiro Adidas, Jay Feely. Let's give some love to Frank Reich's defense. Pretty good end of the half. We know how that thing ended Monday night for them in Baltimore, so this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, a lot of work to be done. They hit a couple of big plays on offense. The defense has played well, not giving up the big plays. But the question is, can they play 60 minutes on both sides of the ball? This defense has really struggled in the fourth quarter this year. They've allowed 10 points or more in 4 or 5 games. So that'll be the question throughout this half.
Kari Willis come through for the sack.
Great play by Kari Willis towards the end of the first half. There are your numbers.
8.2 yards per
The way that
play.
Monday night game ended for the Colts, you have to be wary of finishing well.
18 rushing yards, that's not too good.
Both quarterbacks playing very efficiently. Davis Mills continuing what was a very impressive game last week in the loss against New England. Carson Wentz, 185 yards and a touchdown, a couple of long passes of 50-plus, one to Paris Campbell on the touchdown. And Campbell, if you just noticed, is out for the rest of the day, foot injury that he actually sustained on that touchdown catch. So on the day that they get T.Y. Hilton back, they lose Campbell.
Duh, imagine that.
Shot out of a cannon, gets out across the 30-yard line. Well, America's been clamoring for it all week. Jay, how about the Feely Files?
Well, it's pretty simple. If you're the Texans, don't allow the big play. You have the two big pass plays. That's what your defense is predicated on, not allowing those big plays.
The Feely
I believe they have to establish the run. When you have a guy like Taylor running the ball, he has 2 attempts for 6 yards.
Don't allow big plays.
That's not going to do it. And Frank Reich will come out and know that they have
Alright, here we go.
opportunity against this defense to run the ball.
Taylor in the backfield.
That's your own cartoon animation. You have arrived.
T.Y. Hilton to the top of your screen, motions to it.
I'm jealous.
Pitches it to Taylor, and Taylor gets about 2 yards.
Tackled on the play by Hardy Nickerson.
Hardy
Colts
Nickerson.
offensive line, as you see their first half possession, still playing without their all-pro
Punt,
left
TD,
guard,
field goal,
Nelson.
punt.
Braden Smith still not ready. He's getting close to making his return. Jay, what did you see in the first half in terms of the play calling?
I thought they took advantage
All right,
of this
second
defense. Carson Wentz
9.
manipulated the safeties a couple of times.
Here we go,
He
Wentz.
took some shots, and there's plays
And
to
that's
be had.
Hines
They
to
really
his
haven't been stopped by
right.
this Texans secondary.
Wentz drops back under pressure. Gonna escape and gets about 3 extra yards.
Field picks up a couple. Tackled right around the 35-yard line.
Third down 7, he picked up 2.
Smith back next week, and Nelson maybe the week after that. And then you read back for the first time since the beginning of the season with your starting offensive line in there, an offensive line that's been dominant over the last couple of years.
Yeah, so Nelson would be eligible to come off IR. Certainly the hope.
Become famous to you.
Braden Smith, who
Okay. Wentz, Taylor to his left.
thumb injuries.
Wentz.
Wentz will line up from the shotgun on 3rd and 7.
3rd down and 7, they rush 5. Wentz picks it up.
Wentz protected with
Oh!
What a job by that Houston secondary. They're playing thin.
Wentz ran right into that. 4th down, there's a punt for the defense, or for the offense on this opening drive for the 3rd quarter.
This is outside, but on the inside, there's 13 down the middle. They try, here's T.Y. Hilton in the slot. They want to get him right behind that linebacker. Right there is where they wanted to throw it. And Carson Wentz just didn't have time in that pocket to be able to get it to T.Y. Hilton.
Another good-looking punt. This will be fielded by Roberts just inside the 20. Roberts trying to find the edge, unable to bounce it outside. A return of only 4 after the 50-yard punt by Sanchez. Davis Mills back on the field when we come back.
See what I mean? Just commercials. Everywhere. It's getting ridiculous. This damn dog. Come on, shut the hell up. You better be rooting for the Colts. You ain't rooting for the Colts, who you rooting for? You rooting for the Texans? Ooh. That's gratified. Here, let me do something. Move that a little bit closer so I can read the comments here. More commercials in this damn game than there is anything else. Make sure nobody comes up in here talking that smack. Because I might have to have one of my moderators smack him with that block button. Smack him with that block button. Pew, pew. Go, you're blocked. Yo, 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 my name's Show Ho. Hey, I'm a hype girl. This is my favorite thing to do. Is be a mod. Well, you got no worries from me. Well, I hope not. All these damn commercials, I tell you. All these damn commercials. Oh, the game's back on. Finally. Finally. Alright, here we go, Mills. I think that's Ingram in the backfield. Yep. Gonna fake the handoff, play action, gonna throw over the middle, picked off! Darius Leonard makes the big play, boy! Get picked off by the maniac! You dumb son of a gun!
First big mistake made by Mills. Just straight cover two.
That's right. That's right. Hit them with that block button so fast they don't know what hit him in the face.
Just kind of confused him. He's just going to drop right here. Drop right into the window. Davis Mills trying to go right down the middle.
Nope, not today.
Typical Tampa 2 linebacker dropping. Tim Kelly
not today.
The number one thing he had to do was confirm.
Got picked off.
He lost Leonard, didn't confirm where he was dropping, made the wrong read, and made the big mistake.
Alright, here we go. First down and 10 for Indianapolis. Wentz, Taylor in the backfield, motions. I think that's Moelle Cox. Gonna hand off to Taylor, and Taylor goes nowhere. The Texans go over that like gravy on biscuits.
Nice push. Defensive front, Camus, Grugier, beg your pardon.
Second down and 10.
Behind the line of scrimmage, a young emerging linebacker for this Houston defense. Yeah, linebackers have to do so much in this Lovie Smith defense. They have to be able to stop the run, protect the A-gap, and be able to run sideline to sideline while also dropping back in coverage. Probably the biggest transition for this defense is what the
second down and 10, Wentz.
Linebackers have to do.
I think that's Taylor in the backfield. Gonna fake the handoff. Wentz all time. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Woo! We up by 14, boy. You better get ready. We might blow a 16-point lead again. You never know. Boy, 2 plays, 28 yards, 46 seconds.
Understood exactly what happens. Give me right here. You're going to see him go out, and this guy come in. Little scissors. Finds the window. Cover 2. The windows are over here by the sidelines. And then just rips it. No time for the safety to react. Third time Carson Wentz has been able to manipulate those safeties and keep them from taking away the big play. So Wentz now with touchdown passes of 51 and 28 yards. Point after by Badgley is good.
By Badgley?
There's the Colts take advantage, cashing in on a Leonard pick. Third straight week in which Leonard has the takeaway. And Carson Wentz dropping dimes here in week 6.
Dropping dimes, ain't that about bitch? Carson Wentz dropping dimes here in week 6. Dropping dimes, huh? Well, if he's dropping dimes, I'm going to go out there on the football field, pick them up. Pick those dimes up. Every dime is added up, you know? Stat that. Homegirl. Thank you for the likes. Thank you. Hold on, guys. I got somebody texting me. Alright, guys. I'm back. I'm sorry. I had somebody texting me. It wasn't important. So I didn't answer. My phone just went. It kicked you off. I don't know. I do know one thing. They need to stop playing all these damn commercials. Come on with it. Come on with it. Alright, there we go. Game's back on. Colts cash in after
AWS is how the
Devin Mills throws the interception. Colts up by 14. They up by 16 last week. What happened then?
Colts fans of all ages having a good old time on a Sunday afternoon here in downtown Indianapolis. Darius Leonard off the pick. This season he's putting together his second interception of the season. Roberts plays it.
And you didn't go nowhere.
I have to apologize to Mr. Leonard. Actually, his fourth straight game with a takeaway. He's been off the charts.
He certainly has. His whole career gets the interception against the Titans, and then we saw this, the fumble recovery against Miami. Big one last week. He thought he had a touchdown there. They brought it back. And then the interception today. First mistake for Davis Mills. He's played so well up until that point.
Fourth straight game for Darius Leonard with an interception.
He's got great athleticism. If you're going to
Or fourth straight game with a takeaway.
You're the most athletic linebacker on the field. Think of Derek Brooks.
Alright, first down 10. Mills.
Texans begin the drive with a
Ingram.
run to Ingram.
That's getting about 3, maybe 4 yards.
In early June, it's been such a frustrating road back for him.
Second and
He's still
7.
not at full strength. His last MRI showed that there's still swelling around the bone. It just never quite had enough time to heal. So he knows, Jay, he's going to be dealing with that thing the rest of the season. But he has gritted his way through and has garnered such respect in that locker room.
Yeah, when one of your best players plays through injury, we saw it with Carson Wentz on the other side of the ball, playing through injuries, gutting it out.
Alright, second and 7. I don't know who the hell was in motion. Mills. Ingram in the backfield, fakes the handoff, rolls out. Looks, throws, incomplete. Corey Willis was there. Third down and 7.
Had about 5 or 6 yards that he could have picked up and made this a more manageable third down.
Chris Conley is out with a neck. He is still labeled as questionable.
His return questionable.
Alright, here we go. Third down and 7. He's 3 of 6 on third down today.
Texans wide receiver core trying to get healthy. Third down, here they come again. Giving Chase Mills on the run. What a pass to Cooks. Davis Mills under heavy pressure. 17 yards. What a play by the rookie.
Did that hit the ground?
3 deep routes. It took a long time to develop. And this play doesn't happen if Davis Mills doesn't use his legs and move outside the pocket, keep his eyes downfield. Really good job for the young rookie. And now you're going to see how long this play took to develop, running into the vacated zone.
Ingram goes nowhere.
And Jake, talking about Mills, you just wonder what a crazy run it's been for him.
Goes nowhere.
High school quarterback recruit in his national 17 class, ahead of guys like Tua Tagovailoa. but he tore his ACL in the state championship game of his senior year. He grew up in Atlanta, then re-injured it the next year as a freshman at Stanford. So he basically missed a year and a half of football. And interestingly, he told us yesterday that was
second out of 10, 9:49 left and counting.
Working his way back from injury.
Mills throws complete, and that's going to be a short third down and 3, maybe 2 yards.
This is basically his 20th game played, going back to his time in high school.
Third down and 2.
You have a new head coach, you have a new GM, you got new players everywhere. You have the quarterback who was the star of the team, Deshaun Watson, still in the building working out. That's not easy. When Tyrod Taylor, your starter, goes down. So it's not a circumstances that are setting for him to succeed. And for the most part, especially in the last 2 weeks, he's done really well.
All right, here we go. Mills throws incomplete. Rocky Sin.
Looking for Nico Collins. Coverage on the play by Rocky Seed back in the lineup today. And this is where they
4th and 2.
Aggressive last week on 4th down, going for it 3 times, getting it all 3 times. To decide not to do it today. This is 4th and 2. Like, I think you should be aggressive here. The Colts offense has moved down the field. They've scored on you. They have a 14-point lead here. Darius Leonard enjoying that sequence. As the Colts defense able to get off the field. It's a tough play. Hines, very little breathing space. 45 yards on the punt. Nicely done by Johnston.
I'll be right back, guys.
Terrific special teams tackle.
Sorry, guys. I didn't think about me not being back till now. What's up, everybody? I'm sorry.
How doers get more done. Got DirecTV stream. Now we can watch live TV and on demand.
That's my name.
Scary movie. Scary movie.
Don't wear it out.
Triple match points, Serena Williams.
Alright, there we go. That's done. Had to take care of my dogs. Take care of my dogs. What's up, Miss Dark Angel Purge? Who's Mama?
Pete, super nice Scoutmaster.
I had to take care of my dogs.
2021.
Thank you.
As a ghost.
I hate getting walked through.
It's only a $187 jersey. I'm doing it. I'm making it. You know?
But sure, Arrow guy. Let's get with that. So, what time is soup on?
I'm making it. Who is that? What's up? How's it going, buddy? I didn't recognize your name. I'm sorry. But what's up? How's it going?
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV Stream. Get your TV together. And by the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
I'm okay, I guess.
Well,
You like the Bears. Okay. Whoa! 24-3.
Standards in Houston. Right now, his Texans down 21 points as we play with 6 and change left in this third quarter.
Look at that shit. I don't think he's in here anymore. But I don't know.
It'll be a meeting with one of the most potent rushing attacks in the conference against 12th ranked Ole Miss. Coverage begins at 2:30 with the drive to Atlanta and college football today. They'll take you right to kickoff Saturday. The SEC is on CBS. And speaking
I don't know any other college players. Alright, here we go. First down and 10. Mills.
Ed Ogeron and the university have reached a separation agreement. He will not return in 2022. He is expected to complete the season. According to sources unprecedented in the sport, coach and school.
He gets about a yard.
21 months.
I don't even know who that was.
Winning a national championship, so that will be a development.
I knew the whole Texans team last year.
Yeah, not surprising,
and they changed it.
But still kind of shocking at the same time. When you consider what they did.
Second down and 9. Take your time, because you're a rookie, and you need your sickie to get you with your thicky. You little dicky. Alright, here we go, Mills. Hands off to Ingram, and Ingram cuts up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, has another Texans first down. Only the first down they picked up all goddamn day. Not really, I'm just playing.
83 yards, the longest in the league this season by any player. And the Colts, Jay, had gone 33 games since their last rush of 50 or more yards. But I have a feeling this young man is going to be rewriting a lot of the records.
Yeah, I think he can become one of the best backs in the entire NFL. He has the complete skill set.
All right, here we go.
First set of downs for the Texans.
Mills. Ingram in the backfield. Gonna fake the handoff play action. Gonna throw. Complete. But short of the sticks is Cooks. Thank you guys for the likes. Brenda, I believe is your name. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in.
He had against New England only 3 catches, 23 yards. That's something that
3 catches for 23 yards. Second down and 2.
Not the case today, even though coming into this
4:50 left and counting. Mills, hands off to Ingram. Ingram has another first down.
They needed the 47, and that will be enough. We spent some time with Cooks yesterday, and he said, look, you're not winning this league. It's always a bummer, but the beautiful thing is, you know, the group that we have, it's such a good core of players, and Jay, it's a tough time to play for this franchise. We got the Deshaun Watson cloud that continues to hang over them. Who knows how that plays out.
With the trade deadline coming up, do they make a move before the trade deadline?
All right, here we go. First down and 10. Cooks to the bottom of your screen. Mills hands off to
Play action called. Here's
Lindsey.
You know, Jay, it's hard to be a first-year
Gets
head
nothing.
coach
Second out of 10.
under normal circumstances, but you think of everything that David Culley has had to deal with on his plate, hired in January. He thinks he's going to have a top-5 quarterback. Then, of course, the off-the-field bombshell with Watson. It has been a lot for him to navigate through with this staff.
You tell him you have a star quarterback, and he decides, I don't want to play here anymore. That makes it really difficult. Even more so when you have a rookie head coach that's taken over for the first time. But he talked about to us, he was sitting down with Bill Parcells this offseason.
All right, here we go. First down and 10, Mills. I think that's Lindsey in the backfield still. Or Johnson. That's Johnson in the backfield. Mills gonna run it. And he got nowhere.
Mills just tucks it away, runs for it.
Third down and 6.
Parcells actually recruited David
Maybe
Culley
5.
as a high school quarterback.
Third down and 7. I was wrong.
Nice relationship.
That's the first time I've been wrong.
So with the Texans dial up
Thank you for the locks. Thank you.
I think you're in 2-down territory here for sure. Understand we got 2.
All right, here we go. That's right. Get that maniac, boy. All right, Mills. I don't know who that is in the backfield. Cooks to the bottom. Third down and 6.
First time we see Rex Burkhead on the field at running back for Houston. Mills, his pass is caught. Brandon Cooks. And the chemistry continues to develop between those two. A pickup of 13.
Oh, shit.
And now the injured Indianapolis Colt is Rocky Seam.
A really good job by Davis Mills recognizing what the Colts were doing. They had a single high safety, so they're going cover 3. And then Cooks is just tearing them up. Like he has the ability to get open whenever he wants right now.
10 targets, 8 receptions, 84 yards.
But the concern right now on Rocky Sean, who is back in the lineup, he missed the last 2 games with an ankle injury. Don't want to speculate on what the issue is here.
This was the problem last week against Baltimore. This defense played well for 3 quarters. They started to have injuries in the secondary. And then Lamar Jackson put on his Superman cape and just put on a show.
So Colts secondary that's a little bit thin, Jay. And we mentioned that Andrew Sendejo is out, concussion that he sustained Monday. Jordan Lucas, they called up from the practice.
He don't look injured. And keep your pussy ass out on the field.
Yassine is okay.
Yeah, you lost TJ Carey. He's on IR, so Xavier Rhodes,
they're going to take him to the sideline, keep him out for a play or 2.
Come back. So they've had a lot of issues in this secondary.
A good sign there. Yassine is able to jog off on his own. There's Xavier Rhodes.
All right, first down and 10.
Defense. Just clearing concussion protocol.
2:35 left in the third.
So Isaiah Rodgers steps into a big
role, at
least for a moment here. As was the case the last 2 weeks.
Hand off to Ingram.
You see, Ingram is trying to find any daylight. We're over Stewart on the stop.
He got about a yard, maybe.
14 rushes, 68 yards.
He got 2 yards.
The big 24-yarder, and they're trying to figure out this run game. They know how important it is to this offense. David Culley said we have to keep running the ball, even if we're not getting big yardage, because it sets up the play action, sets up everything else we want to do.
All right, second and 8.
Mills delivers and completes. That's the tight end Akins. See where the officials mark the football. Appears to be just a couple of inches short as they needed the 25.
One of those Tampa 2 beaters. Tampa 2 is what they were playing there. The Colts defense, the diagonal line, a go route and a flat route. Trying to clear it out with the go route, hit the flat route underneath, and now you got short, 30 short. Starting to do a quarterback sneak here.
So we have to think this is 2-down territory, down 21 points. Mills on the keeper, and that'll be a first down for Houston.
There's a big gap right between the center and the right guard. No one was there. Smart by Mills. Get the ball, get the first down.
There's that gap right there. See Tom Brady do that so often in his career. Just see the weakness in the defense, take it, get the first down. 11th play.
Mills throws. Incomplete.
Cooks well covered on the play by Rodgers. And boy, Mills knew he was going to get lit up. That's what you want to see from a young quarterback. Standing strong in the pocket and giving your guy a chance. Yeah, 8 men at the line of scrimmage. They bring pressure and heat him up. And you're right. I mean, Mills knows I'm going to take a shot here. And he gave his receiver a chance. Tough going into that sun.
He turned his head. They won't throw the flag. He turned his head. He turned his head. 2nd and 10. They won't throw the flag.
He's got 8 receptions for 84 yards already today. Catch a breather here on 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 2nd and 10. Ingram.
See if that's the last play of the quarter. Rodgers and Buckner.
3rd down and 8.
On this Indianapolis Colts team, short week after a very disappointing end Monday night in Baltimore. Trying to bounce back and get themselves a big win in the division. We are through 3 in Indy. It is all Colts. 24-3 on CBS.
24-3. Up by 21. It's 3rd down and 8. Oh, straight and down he goes.
#1 for network quality in America, according to J.D. Power.
No, I'm just playing.
#1 in reliability, 16 times in a row. Most awarded for network quality, 27 times in a row. Proving once again that nobody.
I'm just playing.
Verizon. That's why we're building 5G right. That's why there's only one best network. The official 5G network of the NFL.
Is everybody ready to get to work?
A new Tough as Nails Wednesday, 9/8 Central on CBS.
After I end this live stream, I'm going to walk to the station, or I'll start another live stream called Cardinals at Browns.
So at CBS 4, we make it easy for you to get your news and your weather on your terms. On air, online, or the palm of your hand, we're your source for what's happening now.
So while you're busy at work taking your kids to practice or binge watching your favorite shows, we're hard at work bringing you the stories everyone's talking about.
I don't know how that's going to work, because the Browns and Cardinals
So whether you watch us on air, follow us on
directly
social,
after
or
the
stream us
Colts
online.
and Texans game's
You
over.
get your news now on CBS 4. Hey, the meeting? Meeting?
The Colts and Texans game will end at 4 o'clock, and then I'll have to switch off to end live stream, start my live stream, and switch to Fox.
Remember, Chapman, the man for all seasons.
When your family gathers around a shakaroni from Papa John's, you're sharing more than extra cheese and pepperoni. You're sharing scholarships, meals, and laughter. Because $1 from every shakaroni goes to charity.
Oh, that's lane assist.
It's all like kicking assist.
I let go of the wheel and it just turned.
I can tell right away, Josh. I like the transmission. It's better than the Subaru.
Like this, I love. It was great.
Yeah.
Like this would be a great next step from my car.
Watch Debbie Knox weeknights on CBS 4.
Lucas Oil Stadium.
Damn! 7-0 the first quarter, 3-3 the second quarter, 14-0. Colts blew the Texans out in the third quarter. All right, here we go. 3rd down and 8. Texans are in field goal range. Texans are in field goal range. Here we go. Mills out of the shotgun. And you dropped it. Conley's back and he dropped it. 4th and 8.
Keep your offense on the field here, down 21 points. Yeah, I would think so too. I thought they should have done it earlier when they had 4th and 2 near midfield and decided to punt. The Colts went right down and scored.
Now you're going to try and play keep away, ain't you? Drop the first fucking pass. What makes you think you're going to catch another one?
195 yards.
4th and 8. They're 4 of 6 on 4th down conversions this season. 4th and 8. Johnson to Mills's left. Here we go. Mills drops back under pressure. Intercepted.
Back in the lineup.
Damn, the Bengals are blowing them sons of bitches out. 27-0.
Didn't see the signal from the officials. It's going to be Colts football.
Oh.
Regardless, and it looks like the call of the field is indeed an interception by Quiddy Pay.
Watch the pressure coming from this side right here.
Darius Leonard, the maniac.
Leonard, little stop, nobody blocks him. A little stutter, confused the offensive line. They thought he was dropping.
Hey, he intercepted that.
Pay with the big play.
Clearly a pick. Yesterday they took the 21st overall pick. Missed the last 2 with that hamstring injury. They've got big plans for this young man. And that has to make him feel awfully good on that Colts sideline.
He caught that motherfucker.
43 Indianapolis. They're waiting to confirm the
pick.
pick.
Why not wait till
Turnover
this is
subject to automatic
on
review.
commercial or something?
Certainly look good from the multiple angles we saw.
You see that little fag bag?
Nothing I saw that should overturn it. No surprise either that Darius Leonard was in there
blurry
making
as hell.
plays. This guy playing with an injury, playing through, got in and out, continuing to make plays.
He bounced.
Week for this team. He did it from his rookie year on. Started with 145 tackles as a rookie, and it's just been a force.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. As a result of that, it'll be first down in Indianapolis at the previous spot.
What?
I think that actually helps them. They actually gained a couple of yards on the incompletion, but they'll take the
These refs are blind as
INT
hell.
off the stat sheet for young Quiddy Pay. Colts get the ball regardless, of course. Turnover on downs, as they will mark.
All right, here we go. Wentz.
22-yard line.
Taylor to his left.
One step back will be Jonathan Taylor. 5 yards away from hitting the century mark.
Gonna fake the handoff, throw, incomplete.
Sidearm delivery. Hey, Jay, we talked big picture about the Colts. They're 2 back off the pace behind Tennessee in the South. Tennessee has the big, tough Monday night game
Against the Bills.
coming up tomorrow against the Bills.
And then they play Kansas City the next week.
Right.
And
Ooh,
Frank,
that's a tough
he didn't
schedule.
really want to talk
You
about
gotta
that
play the
'cause he said
Bills
we
and
have to
the
have a
Chiefs.
one-game mindset. But he did say a number of times.
That's scary.
We're 1-4, but we're just 2 games back with 12 games to go. They know how good, they believe how good this team is.
All right, Wentz out of the shotgun motions. Hines hands off to Taylor, and Taylor
Close to the 25.
is about 3 yards,
Around the league
maybe
that
4.
We're talking about the Colts as potentially a team that
Screwed
could
up.
maybe contend in the AFC,
State ball.
certainly in the South. They had that just incredible run in 2018. Wentz first year as a
really
head
out.
coach. Started one in
3rd down and 7 after a 3-yard run by the good Jonathan Taylor.
What kind of magic potentially do they have up
All right, here we go.
in
Wentz.
2021?
Hilton to the bottom of your screen.
By the extra week, which teams will play 17 games for the first time. Wentz on 3rd down, far side, looking
The
for
fuck kind of throw was that?
Complete, but a flag. We're right around Wentz.
I think they got Wentz low. I'll give him a first down.
Yep.
Trippy, offense, number 79. This penalty is declined as a result of the play. 4th down.
Well, that's going to be the 3rd penalty on Eric Fisher.
Yeah, and it's a good call. He gets beat inside. He reaches his right leg out. Watch Fisher here. As he comes down, he gets beat inside. And as he comes in there, watch him stick his right leg out.
There's the trip, and he does go low, but the trip happened first. So the penalty declined as the Colts forced the punt. Roberts will
At this point, these fucking refs are just nitpicking.
The Houston 30-yard line.
I don't think he meant to do that.
Looks like right around the 26. 49 yards of the punt by Sanchez.
I'll be right back, guys.
Love is a roller coaster. To each their own love. The Vera Wang Love Collection, designed for Zales, the Diamond Store.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me.
Let's hide in the attic.
No, in the basement. Why can't we just get in the running car?
Are you crazy? Let's hide behind the chainsaws.
Smart. Yeah, okay.
If you're in a horror movie, you make poor decisions. That's what you do.
I'm being quiet. Breathing on me.
If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Out here, there are challenges to meet, limits to push, and barriers to break. We dared to build a quicker, faster, more powerful pickup truck. So you can do.
Alright, I'm back. I am back. Three streams in one day? Oh, that's scary. Woohoo! 3 streams in one day.
I'll do what I can to keep people safe. It's what I was put on this earth to do.
That's scary.
Tonight on CBS.
I'll be sitting right here watching them Colts beat them Texans. Yeah! Let's see here.
Get football on the New York Times NFL Game Pass.
Everybody's live.
Just past the 14-minute mark, early fourth quarter. 24-3, Colts. Isaiah Rodgers still on a corner for the Rocky scene, leaving the game on their last defensive sequence as Mills goes right back to Cooks. Brandon Cooks' big day continues. 12 targets, his 9th catch. But this Indy defense, Jay, has been much better.
They played pretty well. They haven't given up the big play. They've gotten turnovers. They were good in the red zone. That is what Matt Eberflus wants his defense to be. Be solid against the run, good in the end zone. The red zone is get turnovers.
Ingram. And he is going nowhere. And Jay, you just have to think, and we mentioned their offense, all the weapons that they have.
Third down.
Finds his form. If Indy's going to really turn their season around and make noise the second half of the season, it really is going to come down to this defense.
It starts up front. They have to get pressure. They got 2 sacks today. They come in with the least amount of quarterback hits. 20th in hurries. They just haven't had production up front.
Ingram needed the 36.
He's going to be short.
Be close. So at first blush, maybe a couple of inches short. That is not a favorable spot for Houston, and they are indeed short.
I think you get up to the line of scrimmage quick. Let Mills look at the defense. If there's a weakness there, sneak it again. If not, go for it.
This is where David Culley has said that the young rookie has excelled at pre-snap recognition, getting them into their protections. Certainly a running situation here on 4th and short. And now it looks like Culley will take a timeout.
Well, this is the story. They've done this a number of times in games on 4th down, having to call timeouts, not being definitive about either the decision or the play.
Cully took some flack and has really the last couple of weeks. Decision to maybe get a little cute with that punt last week. They had the 22-9 lead over New England. That was really the turning point in the game.
That was a call that, I like being aggressive and trying to manipulate things on special teams, but you didn't need it there. You were winning the game, you were playing great, and that turned the entire game around. But there's been a number of head coaching decisions. It's his first year as a head coach. He's come out 2 or 3 times and admitted he made mistakes. They're stacked inside here, not allowing the quarterback sneak. You go outside.
Pitch. Ingram the spin. And that's second effort.
Got him the first down.
Got him the first down. Still waiting for the official spot. It looks like they got it.
Pretty good play call. You had to get the ball outside because that defensive line was stacked so much in the middle to prevent the quarterback sneak. Really good effort by Ingram.
First down, Houston. Injury update on Rocky Scene. Ankle injury, done for the day.
Damn it.
They have not told us if it's the same ankle that kept him out the last 2 weeks, but the news not good for you.
Why the hell would you put Bobby Okereke, a linebacker?
It's going to be holding defensively. They'll decline that, take the reception.
Holding. Defense number 53. This penalty is declined the result of the play. First down.
So it's a pickup of 14 yards. That's the penalty. Here's the climb.
See the hold on Darius Leonard in the middle. A nice little route. Bring David Johnson out of the backfield. And a matchup you like and get a completion.
All right, here we go. First down and 10. Mills rolls out. Looks, throws, complete.
It's another bullet to Nico Collins. Tackled on the play by Kenny Moore. We spoke to Darius Leonard and talked about the ankle. Talked about getting home from that tough one in Baltimore. He's got 2 young daughters now. Their ages 2.5 and 4. He says they've really changed his perspective. It's nice to come home after a tough night at the office and see their smiling faces. Johnson trying to find some wiggle room. Football came out, but not before Johnson hit the turf. So it looks like Houston will retain possession. The Colts made otherwise. There was Khari Willis who came up with the ball at the end of the play. It's a run of 6. Here's Boger.
The rule of the field is a fumble. Recovered by the defense. First down in Indianapolis.
David Culley looking up at the board with everyone else in the stadium. Wallace Johnson's lead down.
There's the punch that you're looking for.
Yeah, he fumbled that.
Look who it was, Darius Leonard. Well, that's out. He has a knack for finding the ball that is just so rare in this league. It's unbelievable.
That's his 11th fourth fumble in 44 career games. He's such an instinctive player, and he's added to it. He told us this year that he started studying a lot more than he ever had before. When you take a player who's as athletic as he is, as instinctive as he is, and then you add to it the knowledge of the game, he can be one of the best.
That's funny.
That's the 5th turnover he's created in their last 4 games. Just the defense a lot.
That's the 5th turnover he's created in all the last 4 games. Jesus Christ. Motions Doyle. Wentz. Hands off to Taylor. Taylor breaking free across midfield to about the Texans 49.
From Jonathan Taylor, we'll get another NFL Today update. JP and Phil.
KC expanding his lead. They sure are. Darrell Williams this time 3-yard run. Changes direction, finds the end zone. He has 2 touchdown runs on the day. Kansas City 24, the Washington football team 13. Back to Sparrow and Jay.
Chiefs trying to get themselves right.
38-3.
Getting some help right now in Baltimore. Ravens with a big lead over the Chargers.
That's nuts. Anyway, Wentz, Taylor in the backfield. Gonna hand it off again, and Taylor gets about maybe 2 yards.
Up a yard. Is that clock running now? We come up on the 9-minute mark. As Christian Kirksey on the stop.
He's got 113 yards now, helped by that 83-yarder where he just exploded around the edge. He only had 6 yards in the first half, 106 here in the second half, and that's what this team needs. They need Jonathan Taylor to be a focal point of this offense, being able to run the ball, and then utilize the athleticism of Carson Wentz with play action, getting him outside the pocket.
All right, here we go.
As this team continues to get healthier, they'll get their offensive line back. They'll continue to get better. Carson Wentz and his receivers understand
Wentz,
each other.
Taylor in the backfield, motions Pascal, Pittman to the bottom. Gonna hand off to Taylor. Taylor taking Texans with them for another Colts first down. As we enter under 8.5 minutes to go in the fourth.
13 yards. He moves the sticks again.
I want you to watch the right guard here, Chris Reed, as he just comes out and lead blocks. He's done an unbelievable job. He knocks down. Here he comes around, knocking him out, pulling, and he's done a great job. Coming in for Quentin Nelson.
All right, here we go.
I said right guard, he's left guard. Coming in for Quentin Nelson and playing really,
First
really
down and 10. Wentz, Taylor in the backfield.
Taylor will get a breather.
Hilton, no, Mack.
Gets his turn.
And he lost a yard.
He's just getting barely back to the line of scrimmage.
He lost a yard, you dumbass.
7 and change left. So Indianapolis with a win, trying to get to 2-4. Again, we mentioned Tennessee, a tough one against the Bills tomorrow, Monday Night Football. So conceivably before the end of the week, the Colts could climb to within a game of the pace setters in the AFC South.
1 week centric. That's what they have to do. They're going to have to do that. They climb back out. Just have to be focused on this week only, not look at the big picture. Just focus on getting better every week.
All right, here we go. Wentz, 2nd and 11. Fakes the handoff. Throws. Oh!
Off the hands of the intended receiver.
Jesus Christ!
Wentz kind of laying out his receiver there. It was Zach Pascal.
Yeah, Justin Reed came in with the big hit. He's played well for this defense. Had a couple of picks already on the year. He came in, a legal hit and a big hit.
We just hope that Pascal is okay. That's the obvious concern with the athletic trainers coming onto the field.
We're back on the Corona Hotline Show with Superfan Jeremy. Jeremy, it's a long season. How do you unwind? Well, I grab a Corona, go on, and I watch football. And that is it.
Brilliant. Find your gateway good life. Truthfully, it's frustrating to see how fast dust reappears.
But dusting with a cloth is a pain.
And dealing with a bulky vacuum is such a hassle. Ugh. So now, we use our Swiffer Sweeper
And dusters. The fluffy fibers, they pick up dust easily, grabbing it in all those hard-to-reach places. Gotcha.
And for our floors, Sweeper's textured cloths lock all kinds of dirt, dust, and pet hair. Unlike by vacuum, it sneaks under and around places. Look at that.
Dust-free and hassle-free.
Stop cleaning, start Swiffering.
Once upon a time, there lived a princess with really long hair who was waiting for a prince to come save her. But really, who has time for that? She ordered herself a ladder with Prime one-day delivery, and she was out of there. Now, her hairdressing empire is killing it. And the prince, well, who cares? Prime changed everything.
Phoenix taps a new keg every 35 seconds. For beer so fresh, it'll make you... Are you crying?
Nope.
To the greatest of all trucks, Buffalo Wild Wings.
When you're driving a Lincoln, stress seems to evaporate in the thin air.
Are you crying?
Where's it go? Does it get tangled up in knots? somewhere they'll bring you a triangle. Perhaps you'll come up with your own theory of where the stress goes. Behind the wheel of a Lincoln is a mighty fine place to start.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings. To the greatest of all times. Corona Extra. Find the fine line. Live La Vida Más Fina. And by Swiffer. Stop cleaning. Start Swiffering. A good sign for the Colts. Zach Pascal was able to jog off on his own. Looks like he's okay.
All right, here we go, Wentz. Throw down 11. Taylor to Wentz's left.
Catch. 3rd and 11 with the Texans showing blitz.
Wentz drops back, looks, throws. He going short.
What a return season debut for T.Y. Hilton. He's awfully close to the first down.
God damn it!
Hilton a little bit late to get to his feet. Hilton had a 52-yard catch in the first half. It comes across. They hit him on the crossing route. Looked like he grabbed his quad there a little bit. Hilton, that scary neck injury during a training camp practice. His C6 nerve was blocked. They had to go in for surgery.
He gonna retire.
Talked about just how scary
after this season
experience it was. He actually considered a retirement.
Yeah, I don't think this had anything to do with that, thankfully. But when you come back, he said how much he had been working out and running, but you hadn't been out there playing football. Hopefully he's okay, because this offense is different when he's in the game and a part of it.
It was the C6 disc that was actually blocking a nerve in his neck. He mentioned and talked about the tough way that they lost in Baltimore, but what an emotional lift he gave them in practice this week. Everyone talked about, forget the football.
4 receptions for 80 yards. Man, I hope he's okay. 4th and 1.
I hope that he's okay as they take a closer look on that sideline. Wentz with the pitch to Hines. That'll be a first down run.
Not first down.
Hines close to the 20. It's a run of 7. But boy, again, seeing this guy back in uniform, back in this place where he has had some of the greatest performances in franchise history has been something.
4 receptions, 80 yards, the big 52-yarder there. And he looked good. He looked like he hadn't missed any time. For a guy who said at one point he considered retiring for a couple days just because the pain was so bad. Pretty special watching him come out of the tunnel.
And you listen to guys like that, great players who...
All right, here we go. Wentz, Taylor in the backfield, motions Doyle. Gonna hand off to Taylor, and Taylor taking Texans with him and picking up another Colts first down. Here we go, baby! Woo!
It's a run of 10 for Taylor. That clock running, 5 and change left as they continue to examine Hilton on the sideline.
Yeah, good to see him up. Give him a little fist bump. Hopefully he's just fine. We'll see him out there again next week.
Jay, consider he's only had a handful of practices with Wentz, and they were able to do what they did today.
All right, here we go, Wentz. First down and goal. Wentz hands off to Taylor. Taylor! Touchdown, Colts. Nine plays, 63 yards, 5 minutes, 21 seconds. $14 rushes, 145 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
The blocking here, Fisher here, and then the kick out there, and then it's just boom. Taylor's just going to hit it. There's the hole. Very good job by Bo Alley Cox, and then Taylor, just the vision and the explosiveness.
Taylor had an 83-yard run earlier, and he is putting up video game-like numbers. 145 rushing yards. All but 6 of them have come in the second half. We wondered where this was in the first half. They hit a couple of big plays throwing the ball. They came out in the second half and really set out to establish the run. And this is what this team needed. This team needed another performance offensively, building upon what they did the last 2 weeks. But they needed to close out games. They needed to have a lead and defense to play well and close out games that they haven't done throughout this season when they've had opportunities to win games. Jonathan Taylor had one of the great all-time.
I'm probably going to end this live stream with about a minute 50 to go.
Back-to-back 2,000-yard seasons at Wisconsin.
So, with about a minute 50, maybe a minute 30 to go in this live stream, I'm going to end it.
This young man has never looked back.
And walk to the station.
The relationship, the support he's gotten from Mac, someone he's looked up to. What a running back room they've got here in Indy. Andre Roberts is going to play it. Crosses the 20 and out to the 22-yard line, a return of 19 yards. Coming up next, it's game 2 of our CBS doubleheader. Dak Prescott and the first-place Cowboys taking on Bill Belichick and the Patriots. There's more NFL action coming your way next, right here on CBS. There's your quarterback matchup, Dak and Mac.
Dak and Mac.
Jones,
he's handling himself well. He's doing exactly what New England wants him to do for the most part, protecting the ball, being efficient, over 70% completions.
Here's Lindsey out of the backfield. So what about Houston, Jay? 4 change left. His tough season is going to continue, but you think of where this organization was a couple of years ago, 2019, to where they are now. It has been a precipitous fall.
I was there for the playoff game at Kansas City with the Chiefs. They had the 24-0 lead. And how quickly everything changed with this organization from that point forward. Then you trade away DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best receivers in the NFL. You don't get a lot. What does that say to your locker room, to your franchise, your organization?
Lindsey! Finding some open green grass. Big run for Philip Lindsey. Best offensive play that they've had today. Gets his congratulations from Tyrod Taylor. As Lindsey with a rush of 35 yards.
Certainly the best play for Philip Lindsey all year. Came in only averaging 1.7 yards per carry.
Lindsey, who had that fairy tale start in Denver, undrafted Colorado kid, really came out of nowhere. 1,000 yards each of his first 2 seasons. To injuries last year. And now starting this new chapter in Houston. Fresh set of downs. Ingram.
How about that?
Just barely able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
How about that? Actually, I might end it when the clock says 4 o'clock. Because it's... we still have 10 more minutes before it's yeah, I think I'm going to end it at a minute 30 or something like that. I don't know yet. Second and 8. Mills throws incomplete. And move up 3rd down.
Other than that, he's been pretty effective. He didn't recognize Leonard dropping into the zone. He threw it right to him. But other than that,
actually, you know what?
He's done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
The problem is they haven't been able to score points. Only 3 points on the day.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm indecisive. Alright, here we go. 1st down and 10, Mills.
Texans will be back on the road next week.
Lindsey to his left, I believe.
It's that awfully dangerous Cardinals team. Mills' pass is complete. It's the tight end Akins inside the 25. And that's going to be a 1st down for Houston. Pick up a dozen. Mills trying to quickly get them back to the line of scrimmage.
There's the play I've been waiting for. Whoa! Whoa!
You have to throw it up high over the corner into the hole. He tries to gun it in there, and Isaiah Rodgers makes an excellent play.
Woo!
Skilled at taking the ball away. He doesn't practice.
Let's go! Come on, baby! Come on, baby.
For the second-year kid out of UMass, Isaiah Rodgers.
Come on, baby.
Stepping into the void left again.
All right, first down and 10. Wentz. Hands off to Matt.
And Rodgers again has played a bigger role over the last couple of weeks.
I think he know he getting ready to get traded. How about them Colts? Not how about them Cowboys? Who cares about them Cowboys?
Injury update for the Colts on T.Y. Hilton. It is a quad injury. He is done. There's no surprise there. You hope that it's nothing serious. Colts losing Paris Campbell, one of their other key wide receivers earlier. Foot injury for him. Maybe just trying to get healthy.
How about them Colts? All right, here we go. Wentz motions Mo Cox. 10 in the backfield.
Long setback.
Gonna hand off to. Goddamn. That's Mac. He got a yard. 3rd down and 9. That should take us to the 2 minutes. How the Colts doing? 31-3. Colts lead. Answer your question.
They're developing this offensive line depth when they don't have 2 of their starters in Smith and Nelson and Jonathan Taylor.
Answers my question. They're doing pretty goddamn well. Pretty
Taylor was one of the
goddamn
best games
well.
of his young career. Has run roughshod through this Houston defense. 2-minute warning on CBS.
I think I'm gonna walk to the station. Just leave my phone here.
When we found out our son had autism, his future became.
So I'm gonna walk to the station. Actually, I'm gonna smoke this cigarette real quick, and then walk to the station. Hey, I'll be live again after this game is over. I'll be live again for the Browns and Cardinals game. So if you want to come hang out for that, you can. There'll be 3 different streams today. I'll be live for the. Obviously, I was live for the Colts and Texans. Then I'll be live for the Browns and Cardinals. Then I'll be live for the Seahawks and the
Music, gaming, Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus, and more. That's entertainment because everyone deserves better.
Seahawks and
Plans starting at just $35. Better cost less than you think.
Rib shake sandwich.
Steelers. I couldn't get out of my mouth.
Rib sandwich. Hilarious. Glorious.
Yeah, I'm gonna smoke this cigarette.
What?
And then I'm gonna head out. What is up, Melissa? How's it going?
Miniature rack of ribs. Real country style ribs. On an Arby's sandwich. Arby's, we have the meat.
Because that game comes on at
With the Lowe's home team?
4:05. So, actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. There's 2 minutes left in the 4th. You can get this game on CBS. So if you want to watch this game or any other game, depending on where you are, you can get the Colts game on CBS and you can get the Browns and Cardinals game on Fox. Y'all have a good one. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. I'll be back live again here in just a little bit for the Browns and Cardinals.
You dream it. We'll help you plan for it. And Bob, Verizon, the official 5G.